again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to your Sunday's Talking Town. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and if you're anything like me, you've spent the last 3 hours battling with a stupid computer, not enjoying the sun, instead sat in this absolute baking hot office trying to get it to work. So please like this show when it goes out. Please hit that like button. Please tell your friends, because I could have cried this morning. I really could have done. But we're here, we're live, and I'm so pleased you're with us, whether you're on live in our chat right now, with so many of you are, or whether you're enjoying the sun and you're watching this on catch up with a beer in your hand and sunburn on your face. I got sunburn in the garden yesterday. I didn't think it was that strong. Turns out it was. But we're here. We're going to discuss a manner of things. Of course, player retention being the biggest topic. The fairy tale continues into the Premier League next year, but who will join us on the journey? Who stays for you? Who goes? Who's going to be key for you next year? We'll cover all of those wonderful things. But as always, we are partnered with Match Bingo. If you could really play Match Bingo, that would be grateful, because I could go to them and ask for more money, quite frankly, if more people start playing the game, and I need a new computer. So let's help each other out here, friends, because play Match Bingo, win cash prizes. Are you a sports enthusiast? Of course you are. That's why you're here. And I'm on their app right now. How do you get their app? I hear you say at home. Well, it's 2024. You all know how to get an app, but go to your Google Store, go to your Apple App Store, wherever it is you get your apps. Find Match Bingo, download it. As I say, I'm on the app right now. You've got football. You've got all the Premier League games for this afternoon, 4 p.m. kickoff, £2 a card. You've got cricket. I know the boys are back here on Tuesday night with the cricket show, so do join us for that. That'll probably go a lot more swimmingly. Because they use a phone, not a computer, but not that I'm comparing. Yes, you've got cricket, and of course you've got darts. There was a few free dart cards on there last week. I'm not quite sure if they're still there, but they're all £2 a card. And every time you play, you do support the crucial work of the East Anglian Air Ambulance, which is, of course, as I'm sure you'd agree, absolutely vital. But be gamble aware, over 18s only. Right. Let's get a couple of comments. Stephen Perry, let's not forget we need 2 keepers and loan players to replace. Only allowed 2 loan players. We'll look at who we bring in next week, but I want to talk about what sort of squad we need to take into the transfer market. Mike says, can you read that many coming in? Trevor says, Usyk, best fighter on the planet. Well, I think he knocked Tyson Fury into next year, didn't he? Wasn't Tyson Fury screaming Happy New Year at the end? I'm not quite sure. But certainly, that was a moment I will never forget in my life when he absolutely rocks, who I perceived to be the best fighter pound for pound I've probably ever seen. Mike the Fisherman, why are people worried about McKenna going? If he went, he would ruin his reputation of being loyal. Oh, that's an interesting comment. Right, as always, we are joined by Matthew Phillips and Richard Moss, who've been very patient with me this afternoon. Thank you very much.
What's the time?
The time
added time, are we?
2:18. Yes, we are in a lot of added time.
Here we go. We got beautiful weather outside, and we're waiting around for this fucking bloody idiot to get his computer fucking working.
Where were you waiting?
Smash it on the top.
But where were you waiting? Were you waiting in the garden?
Well, I had my sandwich. I'd done a few notes for the show. I'd cut the grass this morning.
See, I've sat here all morning in this baking hot office. I'm not a shower.
Why not church? You're not at church. What's happened?
Because the bloody computer weren't working, Rich.
Oh, well, he was shouting, very shouty this morning, wasn't he, Matt?
Very shouty. You should have put a prayer in, Martin. Get this thing working. Well, it is working now, right?
Lots of prayers and lots of curses going on, believe me. But we're here, we're live. It's great to see you both. Where do you want to start? Because obviously there's been playoffs recently. And I know Rich is very keen.
Come on.
Over to you, Rich.
Let's give it to that lot up the road. Let's stick it to them, Matt, like they've stuck it to us for the last goddamn how many years. And next season, you can sing about 16 years. Because we're going to fucking be playing you. Because we're in the Premier League and you are still in the Championship. And you're going to be down with the dead men.
They got the shellacking we predicted. It just wasn't from us.
Come on.
It's our friends in Yorkshire. It was a proper shellacking, wasn't it? Bloody hell. But the atmosphere was amazing, wasn't it? Similar to what we had when you was up there, Rich, in December.
Yeah, look, I think I wasn't surprised that it went that way because, like I said to you two, and I've said to other people, it was a little bit like our game where the atmosphere was hot and we wilted, and Norwich absolutely wilted, and wasn't it lovely? Wasn't it great watching Thursday night? And wasn't it great on social media, Gov? Thursday evening, it was one of the best evenings ever on. We call it Twitter. It's not called X, it's Twitter. It was one of the best evenings ever. There was people. Matt Taylor had got one. He said, "I've got a bookmark that I've got ready to go up full time," and it was the one from Chris Reeve in 2019, saying, "We'll never play you again." Well, Chris, we won't be playing you next year. That's for a fact.
Yeah, another league we're not in with them.
Absolutely wonderful, isn't it?
And I know you've got a collection of memes you would like to
bring. There's so many memes and GIFs. And
we've got this one. Things that get bad.
Here we go. Yeah. Bit of COD.
I mean, to be fair, better teams than Norwich this year have got beaten that badly at Leeds, as we know.
Yeah.
You know, much better teams than Norwich.
We're watching that game the other night, and you're thinking, how did this lot lose 4-0 to Queen's Park Rangers?
Yeah.
What was happening there?
Yeah.
You got the classic Premier League Dodgers.
That is also available in green and yellow. I think it's not down your local store, but yeah. Brilliant.
You got Ipswich A140 Premier League, Norwich A140 Championship.
We love that one. Brilliant.
They should actually do that.
Hello, Delia.
We're going nowhere.
Didn't you have your rosette in 78?
And then, of course, the last but not least, Force Out.
There's a great one. I don't know if Gov's got it, of Nick Muller with a massive tub of mustard. It's a brilliant one.
Was that blown up, or is that an actual legitimate?
Where'd you even get mustard that size?
Nick gets mustard. Nick gets all kinds of almonds mustard. No other varieties are available, but it was fantastic. There's some other footage that we obviously can't share because it's from Talk Norwich City, but I think if you go to my social media and you want a little laugh, there's some quality ones. There was one yesterday when we were at the cricket, wasn't there, Matt, that I showed you that people had different posts of what they'd said and other things happening, and it was just absolutely it's just scenes.
That was like proper documentary levels of editing, wasn't it? That video you showed me.
It was just there it is. There it is. There he is, the legend Nick Muller.
2.25 litres of Coleman's
Look
mustard.
at that. Look at that.
4 kilograms.
That's got to be off. That's got to be off a burger van, surely.
And what is East Anglia, Matt? What does Nick always say?
Blue and white, not green and yellow.
There you go.
Absolutely. He was proved right in the end, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was proved right. What a surprise!
I love that. Brilliant.
Parachute money gone, says Trevor Amos. So that's the most important thing.
And all that's missing over them gifts was a bit of canned laughter from when we done. I think it was Mr. Clutch Cup when Matt got the certificate out.
They could use that bus for that, couldn't they? If they would to ever win the Mr. Clutch Cup again. Bring Mike Bassett back. Well, they need a new manager. Give a call in for Mike Bassett, the most successful manager ever.
Gone. Paul Lambert's still available, boys. You can go back to him if you want.
So they've sacked their manager.
Hall of Famer.
They're out of parachute money, which means a lot of their better players like Johnny Rowe, etc., will probably be now going. Definitely, I'd have thought.
Overrated.
Diver.
Overrated.
It was a.
You take him at town.
I'd take him at town. Yeah.
Not a chance. Not good enough. He's a good player. I don't. Fair play to him. He maybe probably wasn't fully fit, Matt, because he's obviously been injured. One player I see who is going to stay at Norwich City. Ashley Barnes. How bad was he the other night?
That's what I mean.
Did you hear the Leeds fans serenading him for about 5 minutes? It was fantastic. And then his number came up.
Didn't you?
It was great. And then the number popped up and he had to walk across the pitch. I've waited for this moment for so long.
We can tell.
How much gum did Gunn have in his gob?
It
was like he was eating a meal.
Yeah, Matt's got this. He's got a little bee in his bonnet about how much gun.
It was too busy chewing.
How much gum Gunn was chewing.
He was too busy chilling and not thinking about free kicks and headers at the front post.
Josh says Sarah will go, Sargent will go, Rowe will go. Charlie said we should go for Gabriel Sarr. I'd be up for that. No, Rich is not up for that. He's not up for anything.
We don't want none of their shit players. We don't want none of their shit players fucking wearing the blue and white. I remember when Ian Crook was going to sign for the older generation, and then he changed his mind. All that lot can piss off. They can stay down there, or they can go somewhere else. I don't want any of them. They're not good enough. Not good enough for us. Let them struggle now, because they are going to struggle. Because you think, Matt, strip away 2 or 3 of their better players. What have they got? Liam Gibbs. He's shit today as well.
Oh, he's loving it. He's literally reveling in it. I'm more reveling in the fact that thanks to the way it's gone, Leeds or Southampton will be promoted, and Ipswich Town will be in line for what, £5.5 million win?
Maybe another,
another 5 mil because of the parachute payment.
So
that's paid for a lot of them stadium improvements that we're going to have to undertake.
Well, this is it. So thanks to Premier League voting a couple of years ago, they voted that if a parachute team returned, the money they'd get back, 105 million, would be distributed amongst the 20 other Premier League sides. So two promoted as well, not distributed back to the EFL. So now we're seeing it from the other side, gentlemen, because 4 years ago we'd have sat here and said, the rich get richer, the greedier get greedier. And now we're sitting here going, oh, let's pay for the stadium improvement, isn't it?
We're throwing breadcrumbs from the king's table. That's what we're doing now. I love it.
Overnight it's switched.
So we should be thanking Norwich then for their disastrous performance at Ellen Road. Thanks, lads.
Well, certainly, yeah, absolutely, and
West Brom.
And thanks, Chris. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
I watched some of them scenes last night. I dozed off at the end of that game, and I mean, Leeds got it right. No pitch invasion. They had a cordon right the way around the pitch. Southampton, what the hell were they doing, Matt? There was literally no security, no nothing. I see there was punches thrown. They were chucking stuff at each other. I mean, it was just your phone. It was just a shambles.
It was, yeah.
I mean, what were they doing? And what were you doing? I know we done it in 2000 against Bolton, right? But I think we had a good idea that we might go to Wembley and beat Barnsley. But Southampton are playing Leeds in the final. What are you doing getting on the pitch, having a pitch invasion? You might not even get promoted.
Yeah.
Pitches are for players, stands are for fans.
Says the man who was on the pitch only, 2 weeks ago?
They said, come on. They welcomed us on, the police. Come on, boys. Come on. The gates are open.
How bad were West Brom, though? Like, they were awful.
Why? I've got a question for you, Matt. I don't know if you've spoken to Chris. Why do they insist playing Jed Wallace as a striker?
Yeah, I don't know. He said to me that their chance had gone, really, when they'd drawn 0-0 in the first leg at the Hawthorns. He seemed to think they would try and nick one on the break or from a set piece or something. In the end, they did score from a set piece, didn't they? Last touch of the game, pretty much.
It was writing on the wall. I know first half the Saints didn't have that many chances, but I think we all knew if Southampton scored, I think it was game over, wasn't it? Will Smallbone, what a player he was.
We liked him.
Great goal, wasn't it?
Excellent goal. Matt wants to take David Brooks.
I like David Brooks.
I heard we were linked with that Harwood Bellis smart, and then I heard Southampton, if they get promoted, they can sign him for 20 million. Jesus Christ!
20 million.
Wow. This is
I heard a rumor that he dates Roy Keane's daughter.
Well, you told me that yesterday. Yeah.
So I was told.
Anyway, just quickly, while we're on the subject of yesterday and talking to cricket, you didn't know that this man sitting next to you, Gov, he's very talented with the ball. Wow. We played a bit of cricket at
we jumped over, didn't we?
Yeah, we were on the pitch. You can go on the pitch. Gov was invited. He didn't want to come. Doesn't like cricket. He only likes it when it's the Ashes. And then it rains and he doesn't like cricket. Ones. So you were invited, but we went to Essex yesterday, had a lovely day down there, chilled out, and we played a bit of cricket at lunch and tea. And then Matt got the ball. He proceeded to clean up. 3 wickets in about 6 balls. It was scenes. It was scenes.
Get me in that Bazball team with England.
Yeah. Mystery spin, I think we call it.
It's never too late. It's never too late. The fisherman has...
I'll tell you what did happen yesterday, mate, when Rich knocked at the door.
Oh, yes.
Morning. How you all doing?
I knew it was good. I drove down the road.
Parking ticket.
Drove down the road and I see this yellow... And I thought, oh, dear. Matt's got a parking ticket on his car outside his own house.
Outside my own house. So my permits run out. They don't bother telling me. They just stuck the thing. It's only been parked there for 14 years. Just stuck it on there. I'm going to have a go at the geezer tomorrow when he walks down. Wait.
No, traffic warden's just doing his job there, surely.
Traffic wardens, man. I'm going to have to get on. I'm going to get on the phone to the council tomorrow night. 70 quid.
Traffic wardens. Why would you want to be a traffic warden?
35 quid if you pay within 14 days.
It's a job.
But what sort of... Would you get a kick out of that, giving people to... Obviously,
Martin would enjoy that role, I think.
Yeah. Slapping on the car. I always remember, it was years and years ago, I think I got one, and I came back to my car, and there he is on his machine, and he's like, I said, look, I'm just leaving. Oh, sorry, I've already started putting it in motion.
It's in the system now. In the system now. Sorry.
Come on.
Going back.
Press that button that says delete. Delete. Come on.
I'm sure there is one that says delete.
Of course there is.
Rumour has it, says the fisherman. I heard a rumour. We've put an £8 million bid in for a Liverpool player.
Yeah, Salah's left leg, apparently.
Fair enough. I mean,
maybe the right one because he's left-footed. Yeah, it'd be a left leg would be about 15 million.
I've not heard that rumour myself, but There we go. Just thought I'd let you know. It's in the chat if you want to put a
His
comment on
face.
as to who you think that might be.
Yeah.
Is it Kelleher, the goalkeeper? He's
Could
a good
be.
player.
That's what Parry says, but no chance for 8 million.
Well, we'll have to talk about this another time because today's the day. The guillotine is being sharpened.
Get it out, boys. But before we do, Mark
Guillotine
Ashton had his sort of media tour a little bit, really. You know, he sat down with Stuart Watson a couple of weeks ago. Really good interview. Sat down with Andy Warren.
Have you not been on the phone to Mark? Get him on the platform?
I've known my phone has been strangely quiet, actually, from the
He's
club.
tattoo now. He's beating you to the tattoo, Rich.
There's a lot of people got tattoos.
Yeah.
Andy from the South Coast.
Oh, yes. What a tattoo that is.
If you haven't seen it, go and have a look on. It's on Facebook, on his social media. He's literally there was a print come out of the Sarmiento goal against Southampton with the little figure of Chaplin running.
Yeah.
He's literally had it down his torso, and the side of his. Fantastic.
How long would that take? Is that like all day? Does that take all day?
No, he said it. I messaged him about 2.5 hours. He said.
Oh, wow. Blimey. Hope there's no spelling errors. There's a lot of writing on there.
You mean like Kevin?
Kieran.
No, I wasn't
Don't worry.
on this.
Couple more weeks. 4th of June for mine, boys.
Right. Yeah.
Booked in.
You
Booked
won't
in.
get me.
I'm there.
Harps would love to be a traffic warden in Norwich.
Well, I tell you what. It's probably the only 3 points they're going to get for a long while. Oh, there's an open goal.
Nice.
Well, you don't get points for parking. It's points for speeding, as you will know. Know.
Yeah. Okay. Don't need to talk about that. Thank you very much.
That's fine. We'll move on. All right. So yeah, Ashton interview tour. Safe standing been introduced into Cobbold A. 1,000 more away fans. So there's people moving seats. Rich, I don't think you will be.
No, I think 750. They said, didn't they?
750,000.
He said, "Do not contact the ticket office because obviously they will be in contact. Because you know what people are like. It's like immediately Gov sends the message. Do you think I'll be right in Block B? I think you're fine over there. I honestly do because obviously." For the visiting fans, I think they said they're going to have another block downstairs, which they always used to do, Matt, I think.
On the terrace, yeah.
Yeah, down the bottom. And then they'll probably just come along. I was talking to about yesterday, Gov, and I mean, I've seen it when Leeds have had that whole stand there. Yeah. The block in the middle, you know, the leather seats in the middle of the Cobbold stand.
Yeah.
They literally remain there, surrounded by away fans. Now, I'm not quite sure I'd like to sit there when you've got people coming down from Leeds and teams like that. You're thinking, but they're probably going to have to move along more in the Cobbold. Interesting thing is, guys, is when it's a matter of when, not if that stand comes down.
Yeah,
we're gonna. How many does that hold, Martin? That stand? Would you predict 6,500 in there? Do you reckon?
6,000 to 8,000, I'd say. Yeah, something like that.
So immediately, Matt, where are you going to put them 3,000?
Exactly.
Away
fans. Where'd they go? Well, I always thought they'd go into the upper Alf Ramsey. I would have thought.
Like when they played West Ham. Do you remember when they played West Ham in the playoffs? They had the bottom tier, didn't they?
That's right.
Long. But
yeah,
look, that's for another time, and that's probably for a time when we're a little bit more established because we've got sort of bad vibes when we have stands built, don't we?
Yeah, it's gone pear-shaped, basically.
But I don't think this time, honestly, I don't think that where the club are
different times
now, I don't think we'd get in that type of trouble again because Ashton's done it. He's built that lovely stand at Bristol City. They revamped the ground there, so it will get done. But it's a case of look, I know people are precious to their seats, Martin, because you sat in the same season ticket seat for years, but it's just how it is now. You know,
are you been affected?
Loves the project. Do you think if he moves house, he wants like a little doer-upper?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
I'll buy a stamp on it.
Yeah, I'll buy a shit heap off auction and do it up. Absolutely, absolutely. I think he really would. Yeah, I could see him pencil behind the ear, clipboard. You know, want the gutters done, this done. But are you affected, Matt? Because obviously there's going to be TV stands and hoardings and stations put in place.
No,
one of the pictures on the video was the bit where you sit. Are you going to be affected at all? Do you think?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm in the bleeding cheap seats on the side, didn't I?
That's where it was.
If I'm affected, I'm affected. I ain't too bothered. I'm not emotionally attached to my seat. I mean, I've sat with everyone for about 20 years plus around me, but if I have to move, I have to move. But I didn't get that indication.
No, I think they said there was another gantry they've got to build in the middle of the West Stand, where Richard Chandler sits in that middle bit. Because they've got to go. It amazed me when Mark Ashton said they've had to go from 6 cameras to 46 in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's just one, isn't it?
It's mad, isn't it?
And they've got to build the new Sky Studio on top of the control box where the players come out. It's just
that'd be nice, I think.
Yeah, agree. He said that was the best view, didn't he? That should be the best commercial box or something.
Yeah, I think he's right there as well.
Rich has done Rich. Didn't you say yesterday you'd been at Wolves?
Yeah, I've done. When I went to watch Wolves when I went to Wolves to watch England, behind the goal there, they got the rail seating, and I think it obviously works well because it's obviously for safety.
Yeah.
Block A, you stand in all the game. We've been in that stand as well, Matt. It's old, the Cobb old. Let's not.
Well, we were standing all the game because everyone kept walking through us to go to the toilet.
It's for safety reasons. If everyone's going to stand up, they obviously don't want that movement forward when you score a goal and everyone. You see it now, limbs, don't they? Everyone's piling over the top of each other. They don't want that. I don't know if they'll have to take any seats out when they put the rails in. I'm not really sure.
How it works.
What it'll be.
How big's the rail then? If you're standing,
you'd be all right. You'd be able to see over it. Don't worry.
I can't see a bleeding thing. Yeah,
but it's and I think you have your own little section. Some of them, you're in your. They'll have like a block of 3 seats or whatever, and you're in your little. Right. Look, I think it's a really good idea. I know a lot of people who probably they're old school and they don't want it, but you just have to move with the times. And I think in the end, they're probably going to do this and see how it goes, and then it'll probably move to the Sir Bobby Robson lower because I think if you look there, guys, everyone stands up the whole game. So it's just for safety. Even Peterborough have got safe seating in now behind the goal, and their ground's donkey's years old. So look, it's a case of bringing it in, and we've got to have new floodlight bulbs. I think have got going as well. Garth, I think
are they?
They're not.
Yeah, brand new. Yeah,
and we're lucky we've done the pitch, aren't we? Like Ashton said, that would have been probably tight for time if you're looking to lay a new pitch with everything else with
everything going on,
going to go on.
And then behind the Alf Ramsey stand is going to be the outside broadcast area. He said.
Yeah, I think the old Staples, that's going to be turned into a car park, one of them bits, and then the other bit will be for where the TV. Do you remember, Matt, when you used to go down there and you used to have the big camera over the top of the church?
The crane. I love that. You knew you was on TV, didn't you? When the crane appeared.
When we played Man United in the FA Cup, when we lost 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
Tony Hume scored, and that was on a Sunday, and they had the big camera came up.
That's it.
Over the stand, and you're thinking, and that was one of the first times I think that we were actually on live. The telly.
I think it was. Yeah. Yes, a Sunday afternoon, wasn't it? 87 or something?
87, 88, somewhere around there.
Like that? Yeah, remember that.
There we go. Right, comments coming right up. We've got Paul Lambert in the chat. I don't think it's actual Paul Lambert. Yeah, he just goes, you guys need to check this if you haven't seen it already, and then doesn't actually provide anything for me to check. So I don't know, Paul, if you've forgotten to click paste. If you have, click paste, and we'll have a look. I'm sure we will.
I think Paul Lambert, I sent it to you, didn't I? He's on, is it Under the Cosh?
Yeah, he's getting moved everywhere. He's on TalkSport, he's on that, he was on something else.
Wants a job.
Well,
apparently he's had offers.
Has he? Just have a guess, throw a dart. Where do you think's offered Paul Lambert a job? Where do you think his level is now following the
League One?
I would say probably back in the Scottish Premier League. I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that not Celtic or Rangers though? Obviously.
No, like your Aberdeens or whatever. No, not one of the bigs.
Like your Aberdeens or somewhere. Fair enough.
Yeah, Dundee United or something. Yeah.
Finches said it was hard as a non-season ticket holder to get tickets in the Premier League last time. It's going to be 10 times as hard now. Just have to accept the price.
Do you think they'll do a ballot? They'll have to do the ballot system, and I think mine to. I would have thought so to make it the look.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be how many? So what we got? 20,000 season ticket holders, 3,000 away fans. So that's 23,000. What was it? What could we get in last season? 29,000 was it?
Just shy.
So you can have 6, but you might lose a few seats maybe if you put it in maybe for extra cameras and that you might lose a few seats. So say you've got 6,000 tickets, they ain't going to be hanging around very long, are they? And they're on sale.
And how many people were queued up that day when there was like 30
there tickets? There was 23 tickets went on sale for the last Huddersfield game. I think on that Friday afternoon they had over 20,000. They reckon.
Oh my God.
Ashton reckoned they could have sold, was it 50,000 tickets for that game? It was just the demand was there, it was. Yeah. It's going to be the same in the Premier League. I mean, we are lucky because us three have all got season tickets. We're lucky we're not going to have to worry. There's going to be a lot of people out there who've probably watched Town for years, who are going to struggle to get to games.
But then you've got the exchange now, haven't you, where you can put your ticket on. So that would be useful for people.
Would you do that, Matt? Would you do that for a Tuesday night if you couldn't make it?
Potentially.
Yeah.
I'll have to see. We'll have to see what the fixture list is looking like, right?
Gov won't just keep hold of his. He won't let him his seat, will he?
You said yesterday, didn't you? Like, they'll be announced, but there'll be movement on the game.
Oh, yeah.
Massively.
This is it. This is why I think it won't be as difficult necessarily as people will fear. Because I think with the Premier League and there's so many games not being a traditional Saturday 3 p.m, there's going to be something that people can't do that you're going to find on the ticket exchange, actually. There's probably
I don't think there'll be loads of people not being able to make games in the Premier League when we haven't been there for so many years. If I'm being honest, I think people they'll get... Look, maybe your midweek ones, but then there's not that many midweek games in the Premier League. Not as many as in obviously.
There's Monday night, isn't there? There's Monday nights. There's sometimes Wednesday nights. There's
Friday
certainly
night,
Sunday after 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. kickoffs. Like Sunday 6 p.m. If you travel down from, there's a chap that sits three seats down from me who travels down from Cornwall. Is he going to be able to do that on a Sunday at 6 p.m. with a Monday?
Depends who you're playing. Depends who you're playing, doesn't it? If you're playing a Bournemouth, you might stay at home and you might. If you're playing Arsenal or Man United, you'll probably think, yeah, I'll come down for that. Don't want to miss it.
This is it, yeah. So I think the tickets for those, killer games, Man United, Arsenal, Chelsea, they'll be like gold dust. But I think perhaps if you've got a Bournemouth 6 p.m. on a Sunday night, you might get a few more. Just the Premier League game to go watch.
My brother-in-law Lee sat with us yesterday, didn't he, Rich? And he was saying West Ham, mostly their games this season have been like 2 o'clock on a Sunday. So we're just you've just got to be flexible.
Look, you're going to have your 2 o'clocks because obviously them teams are in Europe. If you're playing on
Europe,
if your fixture falls on that weekend, it's probably going to be on 2 p.m. at least on the Sunday.
Certainly is. HCH 99990. The membership system worked well this season. I thought for non-season ticket holders, only 2 midweek in the Premier. H also adds.
It's one of those at Christmas when they've got. Doesn't it go over onto Amazon? All the games are streamed.
Yeah, Amazon normally have the different games.
Is that deal still in play for this season? This season coming then? I don't know.
I'm not sure. I think so. I think they still got it.
Don't ask me. I'm yet to work out what subscription service I now need and what ones I don't. But we will get there. We absolutely will.
I know the subscription you need, the one that I've got.
Not going to happen, is it? I've given up hope of ever sort of.
I actually found out yesterday how much Mr. Phillips pays for his Sky, and I nearly tripped over the curb in shock. Unbelievable.
Sky TNT, because I've got to have that for UFC.
£184.63.
No,
you were close. You're close.
Was it higher or lower?
Lower.
Comes in at about $150 a month. That's me internet, TNT, Sky package, Sky Cinema. I've got everything. Sky. You want entertainment? You come around my house. You can't put a fee on it.
Just make sure Matt's put you in on the parking. That
yeah. Just let me know you're coming.
I was all right yesterday because it was a weekend. He tells me. I was a little bit nervous walking back to my car because I thought there might be a ticket on there. I was hoping you were going to be correct.
Weekends, you're okay. Weekdays, clearly they've upped the ante.
You should be at work anyway, shouldn't you? So why are you getting a ticket during the week? You should be at work.
Work from home day.
You see, there you go. The pitfalls are working from home. Oh, yeah.
What time does he normally come down your road at the same sort of time every day, or does he mix it up a bit?
I'll see what time he come through because it's on there, isn't
There's me thinking, Rich, he's in work every single day. He's too busy to actually answer a message.
What time?
8:35. So I'm going to be stood at the bottom of our road tomorrow at 8:34 looking
with a cup of tea and a bacon sandwich, right?
8:35. He put that on your car?
Yeah.
In the morning?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an eager
Jump
beaver.
City Council for you people.
Striking early.
That's an eager beaver. Yeah. But you see, this is the pitfalls of working from home, Matt. This is the things you don't realise until you get a ticket on your car and suddenly the commute don't seem so bad, does it?
It's been an admin error somewhere. I'll get on the blower tomorrow.
Work expenses, like car parking.
What's that?
He's getting down his work expenses, like car parking. Yeah, stick it in.
Yeah.
I've paid for car parking this week.
I'll keep you all updated over the summer. I'm getting that overturned. You've heard it here first. This will get overturned.
Talking quickly, I see there was a lot of people yesterday getting invites to Portman Road for the fixtures release breakfast.
The networking.
Now, I was thinking,
that's cool.
Why is Gov not on that list as a local business? Come on, you should be on there. We should be there. Talking Town should be there.
Half 7 start.
I'm not a corporate partner. I'm not paying for Town.
You get up at 4 now, so you'll easily make it. 7:30 start.
Come on, get down there. Just go banging on the door. Do you know
Milks is going to be there.
Oh, mate, Ashton's in there. Let me in.
You don't need to be there to know the fixtures these days. They're out 2 days
Probably
before
not.
anyway.
Yeah, well, hopefully that man
Kieran's
there
going to be there. Kieran's going to be
word
there.
with his friends at the FA, and we can get an early steer on who we're playing.
We could.
Who we got? First
We're
4 games:
connected.
Man City, Arsenal, Man United, Spurs.
We were saying we do think
points.
that's a bit of we were saying yesterday, Rich, weren't we? We do think it's a bit of a fix because, like, you never see the big teams play each other on the first day, dear.
Like last season. Last season, the first game they showed Burnley. Oh, look, they're playing Man City, Vincent Kompany's old club. Oh, that's just suddenly come out the computer. Boy, just excellent.
What a coincidence.
And then you have like
you
have like the Merseyside and Manchester derby. Oh, they come out the computer on the same day. I mean, this is unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fix.
So random.
All right. Phil Blunt down the chat says, would it be worth remaining as a Town TV subscriber next season, considering now that most games are shown live?
There's loads of content on there. There's loads of content. They'll up the content. That was another area they said they'd have to add to, because they did say to Mark Ashton about adding members of staff, and he said in most areas, like, they've got the people there that they want, but probably obviously the media team. It's going to be busy, isn't it, for the old media team?
I would say they'll probably have to have a media person dedicated just for the overseas broadcasters, such as the volume of them. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Probably so. But I think you've got a point here, though, Rich. I know you say there's lots of content on there, but
yeah,
one of the selling points obviously was the games, I guess. In terms
See,
of...
I don't. I'll be up front. I don't subscribe to Town TV. A lot of the stuff they put on YouTube anyway. They do. It's like the Mark Ashton.
It's not on there. Of course, it's worth subscribing. I don't actually subscribe myself.
I'm just saying, I don't subscribe.
You know what is going to be on there, don't you? When we go back to Austria to retain the Innsbruck Cup, your favourite trophy, mate.
Pre-season.
Yeah, we're going back there. I was hopeful we would do one of these kind of like go to Australia things. That's what I was hoping.
Why? No, don't be up in the middle of the night doing a match reaction show.
Jet setting. That's just, either Bournemouth did it when they got promoted. They went out to America or something. They want to be jet setting now.
Talking of jet setting, shout out AD Croucher and friends who've gone to Dusseldorf for the Dusseldorf game this weekend.
I see a post about that this morning on Twitter. Now, I don't really get the link between Town and Fortuna. To me, I've got no interest in Fortuna Dusseldorf. I haven't. Have you? Have either of you two?
Yeah, I've been to Dusseldorf for a weekend and watched them. Wow.
Hang on.
Well,
let's
get the whole story. You've been to
We've gone through this before. I've got no interest. Yeah, they came over and watched us. Brilliant. I've got no interest in them. I don't look for their results.
I think it's just the fact that they put all that effort in, and our guys have gone over just to
got a couple of impressive flags when they come over, haven't they? They're massive flags.
So there's a strong sort of solidarity between the two teams.
Yeah,
or a certain section of the fan base. I mean, maybe the vast majority of the Fortuna fans feel the same way you do, in the sense of they don't probably look for Town results.
Yeah, they bring like 200 over, don't they? Not even that.
Yeah. But it's nice to have that link. It's nice to have that, particularly with a Bundesliga club, well-run league. I know Matt's got a lot of respect and love for that for a division that is the Bundesliga. But what I would say is it's lasted longer than the Phoenix Rising connection that we saw only a couple of years ago. Fans everywhere wearing caps.
Everyone's getting up early.
Yeah.
Do you still get up early?
I never got up early in the first place.
You got a cap though.
Brett sent me a cap. Cheers, Brett Johnson. Thanks for the cap. And then the dog chewed it. One of my best caps that was, and Poppy got hold of it when she's a puppy. It was on the side.
Left it on the side.
I've still got it. It's just got a couple of teeth marks in it.
But there you go. You're telling me you don't wake up in the middle of the night to watch the Phoenix Rising, Rich?
I might have a certain rising in the middle of the night, but it's not watching Phoenix Rising.
No, Richard, no. Christ. Right.
It's an open goal. Come on, it's a family show.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I've wanted to go 9 p.m. on a Sunday night. I know he didn't want to go 9 p.m. because he's in bed.
I mean, I'm going to a pumpkin. But no, I think it's nice that that's lasted longer than that connection, because that was really popular and really sort of big at the time of the takeover. That seems to sort of really...
Has Brett had his tattoo? He said he was getting a tattoo.
He's getting one, isn't he? He'll go through it, won't he?
A lot of tattoos being done. Martin, you can have
Not
one?
a chance.
No.
Not one chance.
Well, he's scared.
No.
Scared.
Yes. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah.
Scared of. What about you, Matt?
I've said before, I haven't got the mindset for it. I'd get fed up with it after a week or something. Well, it changed. I don't like a certain bit of it.
Get it changed after a week then. It's up to you, it's your body. But no, not for me. All right, on to the squad. Let's shape it for next season. Let's start with the goalkeepers. Both are out of contract, although Christian Walton has got an option for a year. If you're Mark Ashton, Kieran McKenna, what are you doing with the two goalkeepers?
What did we call this yesterday, Rich? Win or bin, didn't we?
Bin or win. Bin or win.
Bridge was called this yesterday.
We did have the traffic light system. Do you remember that, Gov? When we
remember that?
Yes,
we had a lot of reds.
Little
We had a
faces.
lot of reds then. Little angry face. Go.
He was very angry.
I think they'll
my
take
own.
that option up, won't they, for Walton?
Do you think they will?
Yeah,
And
well,
then-
I think because
and
they'll
then
get some
sell.
cash. They'll cash in.
Sell. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
I don't think they're going to let him go for nothing. You know, I think they'll look to get a fee for him. I don't know what the sort
We
of
didn't
fee
pay
would
much
be.
for him, did we? 100 grand, was it? It was quite nominal, wasn't it? Nominal fee, I seem to recall. We were talking millions on here, weren't we, everyone? How much would you pay for him?
Interesting career, though, isn't he? He's been most of the time being a
Odd career, yeah, because he's only really had one really that standout season, the League One season with us when we got
Yeah,
promoted.
he played quite a bit for Blackburn, didn't he, in Wigan? But they were both
Yeah, true.
on
Yeah,
loan,
true.
weren't they?
Yeah.
And then he probably thought he'd come to town and he found his home, which he probably had. And it's look, this
Unlucky
is
with the
foot-
injury.
This
Unlucky
is
with the
football.
injury. Yeah.
This is football. You know, he probably he's thinking, and he this time sort of last year go into my summer break, looking forward to playing in the Championship. Lo and behold, he gets an injury. What was it? A couple of weeks ago before the start of the season.
Luton game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He pulled up in the Luton game.
Yeah.
And that was it, you know. And then he didn't play a minute in the league apart from 3
Right
minutes
then.
at the end against
Yeah,
Huddersfield.
mad, isn't it?
So
Who could have predicted that? Mad.
he'll get a decent club. Someone will pick him up because he's a good goalie. I
Yeah.
think he'll be picked up by a Championship club. I think.
Yeah,
So
I
if
agree.
you're selling him, what sort of valuation would you expect the football club to put on him? Like, if he's what's his value in terms of we're going to sign and sell?
Well, he's only got 12, couple hundred grand.
Yeah, 500 max, maybe 300, 400,
Okay.
something along those lines. He could end up going back to one of his old clubs, like Blackburn, for example. I ain't impressed with that Ainsley Pears have had in goal this season.
Stephen Paris is $1 million. Do you think it would be worth $1 million?
You
Can't
won't.
see
No,
that.
you won't be getting $1 million.
All right. You don't see any way we sign and keep him as number 2?
No, because I think he'll want to play, and I think it's
Okay.
fair to him that I think he needs to play
he's
football
not-
because for too long he's probably been playing second fiddle and being loaned out.
Yeah.
And
These lads want to play football, don't they? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's the career.
I think you have.
It's all
I think
career.
you have to be fair to certain people now that,
Yeah.
like him. You've got Slicker coming through.
Yeah.
He probably moves up the pecking order. I would have thought.
Number 2 for you?
He played more minutes than Morton, didn't he, Slicker? He played that Bristol Rovers League Cup game. He played the
Possibly
Reading one.
number 2.
He
No,
played the
he
Reading
didn't.
one.
No, he didn't. He just played the game. I think at Bristol Rovers. That was
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Would he be number 2 in the Premier League? Possibly.
Mhm. Okay. All right. So, and then obviously Haladki, the current number 1, out of
Yeah.
contract. Strange situation, this one, because great
Yeah.
season. People were expecting contracts to be announced all throughout the year. Never came. And we're now sat here in the middle of May, still without an announcement of a contract. So, as
Weird.
things stand, in a couple of weeks' time, he will be a free agent. Are you looking to retain his
Well,
services?
He could have
Well,
signed
you're
a
not.
pre-contract in January when he's in the
Could
last
have.
6 months of his contract. So I'm releasing him.
You're releasing Haladki?
Yeah, he's going.
Okay.
Now, people might think that's harsh, but I think
Why?
is he
Why?
really right? He had a really good season. Does he want to be a number 2 when he's been number 1 now?
It's a good point.
I don't think he would because I think he's been used to. He's now been playing and he's had a really good season. What is he? 34, Matt? I think he's 33, 34.
Yeah.
He could have a year sitting on the bench, possibly, but no, I think he'd probably want to play. He's had a really fantastic season. Let's not shy away from it because I think there was a lot of people sort of when he came in thinking, I was one of them, thinking we might need to sign another goalkeeper here because I don't think he'd be up to it. But he's proved that he has. I don't see him playing in the Premier League because I think the teams you're going to come up against, obviously, you're going to have a lot more shots to save. And I think it showed towards the end of the season, some of these goals that he's let in. I don't think he's good. I think he's good with his feet, with his hands. I don't think he's good enough. You're playing against world-class strikers like Haaland and all these players and Jesus. I don't think he'd be good enough. People might think I'm harsh, but I think you're going to have to be because we're in the Premier League now.
Yeah,
We've got to take
fair
this
enough.
seriously. We're not just here for a party. We're here to make a stamp. If you listen to Mark Ashton, we want to make a mark. And
sharp mentality.
I love that. But if it means some players having to go, that's just football, I'm afraid. You've just got to be ruthless.
Phil says, I will not release Baz because he doesn't stay with the back line and he has performed very well.
You might have an understanding.
I'd be keeping him. I think it's gonna be. If you lose both keepers, then you're going to be looking for 2 sweeper keepers. that are of a Premier League standard, aren't you? Which I think is going to be
Slicker.
Yeah, but what we've just said, he just only played one League Cup game last season.
Yeah.
I would keep Hladky, and I'd have him as my number one because
as your number one in the Premier League. Are you joking? He ain't nowhere near good enough, Matt. This is what we need to get.
He's not had an opportunity yet.
Come on. There's goals there towards the end of the season. The Nunes free kick. The
it is what it is. He's made.
Hadji Wright goal at Coventry.
You're concentrating on the negative. What about all the great saves he made? What about all the moves he started with his feet? I mean, I'd give him an opportunity.
All right. Okay. So you got Rich is releasing.
The fact he played all 46 league games tells me that McKenna was very happy with him.
But
he wasn't at Coventry. He wasn't at Coventry.
But we don't know what the contract situation is.
He wasn't happy when he's punching that perspex.
Yeah, and then at Coventry, he's shouting at the screen. I'm guessing both times are at the goalkeeper.
Why is he not signed the contract? This is the only question I will say, that you are in the middle of May and you've known he's out of contract. And if you can
money or years.
It might be. He's probably look. He'd only get a 1 year deal, wouldn't he? I would have thought.
Has he turned it down? Maybe he turned it down.
He could have turned it down. He might think that I will go. I think you mentioned it, Matt, on the few shows probably back in the start of the year. Celtic looking for a goalkeeper because Joe Hart's retired. He's played in the Scottish Premier before. He might go there.
Yeah, you see,
European football as well.
Yeah, and this is the good thing about becoming a Premier League team. And I don't mean to split when I say this to any of the local journalists. The Athletics suddenly start taking you a little bit more seriously. You might get a beat report that's assigned to the Athletic, and you get more information. You get more little tidbits because they're also a company that needs to sell their space and sell their subscription. And he might be offered a deal. We wouldn't know because everything is so closed off at the moment. It feels like you just wouldn't know until it happens. Whereas when you've got other things like Athletic and worldwide media starting to take more interest, little bits of news like that, Matt, they get out. Do you know what I mean?
I forgot we're going to have our own dedicated site on the Athletic.
Great, isn't it? Finally, 70 quid. Finally, 70 quid is going to be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, I just think it's going to be a very tough. If you lose both keepers, it's going to be a very tough ask to find two Premier League quality keepers. We're not going to be the only club looking for Premier League quality keepers, by the way. Several teams will be, so it's going to be tough.
All right, so Walton, you're both signing to sell. As am I, and Hladky, 2 releases and 1 keep. Matt is keeping it. I'm not.
You releasing him, mate. I'm with you in that camp.
The guillotine has fallen. 2-1.
It's hard.
It is hard.
But this is the nature of the beast. This is it. We've got to be, as Rich says.
What you think?
You've got to take it seriously. You can't just stop. Quit and restart. If you find 6 months into the season you made a mistake. So, yeah, go for it. Right, backline. Axel Twenzabi. Matt, you're a big supporter of Axel. I'm a big lover of Axel. What are you doing with Axel? I think
Axel,
he is got option of the year.
Yeah, I've got the 4 here. There's 4 players who've got option of the year. Christian Walton, Axel's 1, Cameron Burgess, and Sam Morsey.
Yeah.
They're all got options of a further year. Their deals are out on June 24.
So are we keeping Axel as a starter or as a backup? He's done very well at right back, but I do, when we get to the shows where we actually look at players that could come in, there's going to be some better options at right back. So yes, I probably would sign him, but I don't know whether he's going to be a starter, quite frankly. He didn't really impress that much in the position where he's actually good at, or has come through at United, which was centre half. It was weird that he went out to right back, and that's where everyone seems to be quite happy with him. But I think we can probably get some better options from across the globe to play that position for us in the Premier League is my thinking. But I would sign him as a squad player. Yeah.
Okay. So you're signing him, but as a squad player, and
I'll go. Look, they've got a further option of a year. I think you take it up. He wouldn't be me starting right back. I thought he'd done a really good job, and I think we were lucky that we had him there because obviously Brandon Williams went back, and then obviously Harry Clark. God bless him. He's had his both Achilles done. So
it's take a while to recover.
This is things that we don't know. Like we're quick to criticise players, but we knew he had 1 dodgy Achilles. We didn't know he had 2, did we? And he's been
they kept that quiet, Harry,
for the last two seasons.
Yeah.
So hopefully him fully fit. He can be pushing whoever it is. I think we'll sign a right back. I agree with Matt. Probably a starter. Harry Clark could probably be my backup. You've got Axel there who can play right back. He can play centre back. But yeah, I think he'd be in my squad, and I'd take that year option up on him.
Okay, as we all would. So Clark's also staying. JD though, Janoy Danassian, obviously.
See ya. Cheerio. We don't need to talk about him much
Yeah.
longer. Thank you very much. He's done a really good job. He's been a really good servant.
Well done,
but he
John.
moves on.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, likewise.
Yeah,
Agree with that. Agree with that. Two young players that have been out on loan. Obviously, the landscape at the football club has now changed upon their return. Corey and Darber and Elkan Baggett.
We were discussing these, weren't we, Rich? But the cricket.
So, and Darber has he's got another year.
Yep.
Plus an extra 12 months that they could take up. Sell.
Yep.
We've never seen enough of him, have we? But it seems to be that the fact he's always been put out on loan speaks volumes to me. Yeah, look, he seems to be enjoying himself at Kilmarnock. Haven't they got into Europe, Rich? I mean, can they do a deal there with them for him to stay there, maybe?
Possibly.
Again, it goes back to that lads want to be playing football. And he's been playing regularly for there, and it sounds like they've had a fairly decent season. So
you're loaning him back out again, are you?
I'm selling him.
I'll probably sell him. Yeah.
Okay.
Take away the uncertainty of it. A nominal fee, off he goes.
Yeah, I'm selling him. And Baggett's also got the same length of contract with an option, so 2025 with 1 year.
Yeah,
on as well.
I think it's a loan. It's another loan for him. You need him to get
championship loan.
I don't know if he's quite up to that standard yet. I don't know. Maybe a top League One team, possibly. But he's another one. He's
21 right now.
Where we are as a football club now, that we're progressing way quicker than we probably thought we were going to.
Yeah,
exactly. So these players that are young players and they're decent, it might be too soon for them, and they might, in the end, they might move on. But I'd loan him out, and then I'd see where we are this time next summer, and then we'd have to make a decision.
Maybe to someone like Oxford, we saw they got promoted yesterday, and well done to them. He could go there, maybe.
Shout out Greg Lee.
Part of that championship.
Greg Lee.
Greg Lee, back to back.
Shout out Eduardo. I see he's not actually signed there. He was on loan, and then we released him because he was injured. Yeah. He was in the dressing room dancing. What a character.
Yeah.
Great guy. Really good. Craig at Winchester says, keep Baggett for the shirt sales. Mike Fishman says, Baggett needs championship action. Trevor says, release in Darber, loan Baggett out. Mike D and Darber sell, Baggett another loan. Rob Holmes selling Darber, loan out, Baggett again.
Yeah. Agree with that.
Am I okay to say I'd sell Elkan Baggett?
You can say that if you want.
We did discuss this, me and Rich. Whether or not he will actually make the grade at Town, I don't know, but he's only a young lad and needs to get that experience, doesn't he?
I might look back on this in 5 years' time and say, you wanted to sell Elkan Baggett, you fucking idiot.
Yeah,
but they could look, if he did, I think personally they'll loan him out and then see, but they could always have first dibs.
Yeah.
Which a lot of these clubs put in now, Martin. If he impresses and he progresses, we'd have the first refusal on if they
like
were going to sell him. Yeah, Philogene. They've I think Villa have got 15 million, I think, if they want to sign him back. So
I'm looking at Elkan Baggett. I'm just thinking, is he's got potential? Bags of potential. Is going to be a player in there. I'm just not sure if it's a Premier League centre half or if his ceiling is Championship. Which a year ago you just said, well, that's great.
Yeah. Victim of the fast-paced success we're seeing. Yeah, exactly. We've progressed too quickly for the caliber of player.
Yeah. I just don't know. That's that. I'm not going to ask you on Wolf or Burgess or Davis because that seems absolutely stupidly, ridiculously waste of time.
So Davis, Wolfie, they've got another year plus a 12-month option.
I mean, you're keeping them all. Yeah. You're only selling if you get an offer. I'm guessing.
If Leaf Davis, someone offered me 40 million, I would sell him. But
you're driving where he needs to go, wouldn't you? For 40 million.
I'm hoping that he has another good season in the Premier League, and then he's going to be worth 40 million. If he progresses, I wouldn't be. Look, I said to you yesterday, Matt, I wouldn't be surprised if next season he gets an England call up.
Chance, I think.
You know, you look at, I think Shaw still injured, Chilwell probably get picked for the Euros. Trippier can probably play both sides. Other than that, look, he could even. I think the squad is announced Tuesday, provisional squad.
Yeah, that's right.
He could be an outside shout to be picked in that. I'm not saying he's going to go to the Euros, but he could get in that because I don't know how many they select and they have to trim it down to. I think it's 26. So
who knows what the long list is going to be? Yeah, could be on a long list. I wouldn't rule it out.
Hey, Croucher. There he is.
From Forest Green to Dusseldorf. Have a great time at the Blue Army in Germany. Love it. Well done, AD. Well done.
I mean, look, to set. Look, we keep talking about Davis. People go, if a bid came in. If you lose Davis, you're gonna. We've spoken about what the void that Amari Hutchinson's going to leave behind. look at the assist void that Davis would leave behind.
Yeah,
pivotal to the season.
We ain't going to worry about that this summer, Matt, because he'll still be here. Like the manager, he will still be here.
Well, let's just pause there. Actually, before I pause there for McKenna talk, Edmondson. Sell.
George.
Oh, you're saying goodbye?
I like George, but I think we've done 10 appearances.
So, Fridge,
He's
got another year left. I don't know if there's a year extension. Look, Wolfie might not be a Premier League defender, Paul, but we're going to have to find out with Wolfie. We're not going to. I don't think we're binning him off.
I think he will be. I think he'll prove a lot of people wrong.
So, Edmondson, right. So I'm having Cameron Burgess, Wolfie, Axel. I will be signing another centre half. I'm not sure who it is yet, but I think they will have to sign someone who's got a bit of Premier League about them.
Yeah.
And this is another thing when it comes to Fridge. He has been excellent this season. When he came in and he played 10 games, I think, Gov, and he didn't let us down. But he's another player who now, does he want to just sit around and not really play much? I think he could get
in centre halves either. You can't be stockpiling these players, can you?
He could go and play at championship level. I think he showed this season in the games he's played. So, look, I don't know. He might want to stay. He might want to stay. But I think if you're signing Axel and then you're signing another centre half, you're not going to have 5 centre halves, are you?
No.
I don't think you're going to need that. Four centre halves for me, Matt, is you've got 2 who play.
Yeah, agreed.
And then you've got 2 spare, and Axel can be he can play right back as well. So.
Look, George, where was he on loan that time? Derby. They've just got promoted. That could be a good fit for him. Look, I wouldn't be leading into the door. Really, I think he's a great character, really likable guy. Did that coffee club stuff, the content. But yeah, you can't be stockpiling players. And at his age, what is he? Mid to late 20s. He needs to be playing regular games, doesn't he?
Yeah, I sell him as well. If he had 2 years on his deal, I might be tempted to loan him for a season. Just to see where you are as a football club in a year's time and see where he is.
He's got players who've got ahead of him now. Burgess has got ahead of him. Wolfen has got ahead of him. And he's behind them in the pecking order. And I think he probably knows that himself. And he'd come in for just the odd particular game, didn't he? He'd bring him in like at Coventry, Matt, when he brought him in.
Yeah.
He'd done the job. Then he was back on the bench.
It's really harsh.
It is harsh.
This is the job. This is the gig. You know what I mean?
You're being harsh, but I think we could get a decent fee for Fridge as well. I think we could get $500,000, maybe 750. I think he's a good player.
Agreed.
Premier League, I don't think so.
Right, so Morsi and Mas, I'll go past because there's absolutely no point discussing Morsi and Mas. El Mizani has been on loan this year.
Orient.
Yeah, the surname there was terrible. Apologies, Idris.
He's had 2 years there, hasn't he?
He's very popular there. He's been their captain. We've got an Orient fan at my boxing gym, so he's been keeping me updated. They really like him. They want to sign him. I think he's done his ACL, hasn't he?
He did get injured. His contract is up, but we do have an option on my sheet here of it. I'm not saying that's correct, but if there was an option,
I think if his contract's running out, I think they'll just let him go to Orient, go to a club where he's loved. Absolutely, and playing regular football, before the injury, obviously.
If he's out long term, they might he might just do his rehab at Town, possibly. But I don't see him playing again for Town.
Okay, no. Pantush Kamara, another player out of contract with a year option, I believe.
What did you say, Gov? What did you say?
He'll never play for us.
I said he'll never play for Ipswich Town when he went out on loan. And you both had a right go at me the WhatsApp.
I think his only highlight for Town was he come on one game there. I can't remember who it was against. He hit the post.
Yeah, he did. Was that the Lincoln game?
I don't know who it was, but he got injured. He didn't play. He didn't really play that much at Charlton.
Played at Bracknell in the Cup.
Scored,
actually.
Yeah, scored a goal. Sell.
Yeah, he'll go, won't he?
Do you option and sell, or do you just let the player walk away?
Is he still under contract?
No, his contract, according to my sheet here, expires in 2024 with an option of what available.
I'll just let him go free.
Okay. Cameron.
That was odd, though, wasn't it? Because we signed him with an injury, I seem to recall. Very odd.
Yeah, he had that groin problem, didn't he? And he was never really fit, and then he had an operation. Are you coming to Cameron Humphreys, Gov?
I am coming to Cameron Humphreys. What do you do with the boy wonder? Right.
This is a real conundrum for me.
Before Rich goes in, I'm going to loan him because I like him.
Matt's loaning him. I'm not going to sell him, surely, Rich.
I'm not selling him yet. I'm not selling him yet, but I'm definitely loaning him out.
Okay.
Look, Played a little bit in League One for us. Hardly played in the Championship. Played a little bit of left back, that QPR game. Think he's a great kid, Cameron. I really do. I don't think he'll make it at Town. I honestly don't think he'll make it now. The progression of the club, we're moving too fast with the progression of the player for me now.
Like Baggett, yeah.
But he needs to go out on loan. And this is the thing about people will say, yeah, you got to loan into the Championship. But why? He's played hardly any minutes at Championship level. Maybe a team coming up, maybe an Oxford, maybe a team like that. But I don't see a team who's challenging or I don't.
Top end League One?
Possibly. I don't think he makes it a Town. That's really harsh. That's really harsh because I like him.
You used to say, Martin, didn't you? Like when we first started, you never see our players get decent loans. But now I think we've got the Premier League status. I think we will see that. So I think you could see Cameron go to, I don't know, like a Barnsley, who'll probably be challenging top 6 to get in League One. It's got to be around that ilk all low. Yeah, I agree with Rich there. I think it'd have to be top end League One.
But he needs to go and play as well now. He needs to play football.
Play matches.
He's had. Look, he probably could have gone on loan last year, but I think he wanted to stay and he wanted to work with Kieran, which probably did help. It probably helped his development. But he's at an age now where it's playing football.
He needs 35, 40 games. He needs 35, 40 games under his belt.
Get these games under your belt and learn on the field and play for points. You know, football is a cruel game. It's a cruel game, but I'm sorry, we are where we are as a football club. And if we stay in the Premier League, I don't see Cameron Humphreys playing Premier League football for Town. You're selling him, aren't you?
Yeah, the guillotine's coming down.
I knew he's the guillotine. Gov's got it.
Down. It's a sound, I'm afraid. He's 20 years of age, still young, but only a year younger than Elkan Baggett, who, by the way, I've also said I'm selling.
Maybe I'm being a bit too kind there. I love Cameron Humphreys. I think
he'll be a great signing for somebody, Cameron Humphreys, if that was to happen.
We can't be Sentiment FC. And we live in a world of football now where you can sell him, but also have first refusal. Yeah. So if you think there's a player in there, you can give yourself the option of first refusal should the time come around that actually there's going to be a player there that's developed. He needs games. Will a Championship team? What sort of Championship team will look at Cameron Humphreys and think that's a player who I can play in my midfield and give me what I need to give me? Like, there's no body of work, is there, for an established manager? Like, if you're Oxford, are you trusting him to be in a bottom 6 side and back? You know, you don't know, do you? That's the point. He's not had that body of work of, you know, the ups and downs, as I call it, of a lone player. So
this is where now that we're moving on and we're progressing and hope we're going to get Cat 1 Academy.
Yeah.
And this is another thing of evolving our football club now. We want to be bringing these players through, Gov, who are good enough for our first team. Not on the fringes. Like you can play that you can play for your first team and then you can sell them on. You know, we haven't done this for years. Probably the last player. I know, look, Downs we got some money for, Dazelle. Connor Wickham was probably the last player that we sold for proper money.
Big money. Yeah.
But that comment right there is part of my thinking. It's why I'm not 100% on this. I'm 60, 70% on it because, like Stephen Price says, Oxford's midfield is better than Cam right now. So where's he going in the Championship? Where's this Championship loan that people keep telling me he needs?
So I'd say top end League One. Yeah, I agree. Top end League One.
But then we spoke about Liam Gibbs earlier. Liam Gibbs went to Norwich and he played Championship football. Now, for me, Cameron Humphreys is a better footballer than Liam Gibbs.
Oh yeah, of course, hands down, no questions asked.
But Liam Gibbs has played quite a few games for Norwich in the Championship.
Yeah, true.
If it's Norwich.
Yeah, but I'm saying that, you know what I mean? I know it's Norwich, but it's a Championship.
An hour ago, you were telling me they're all rubbish and I don't want anything.
But they are rubbish.
They threw him into the deep end.
But
they also threw him into the deep end. They threw Gibbs into the deep end a little bit, and it was whether or not you could swim or not, I suppose.
Yeah. As I say, I'm not 100% sold on the idea, but that's probably where I'm edging towards. So I'll say sell, and we'll move on. Marcus Harness. I love Marcus Harness, but I'm selling.
Marcus Harness has a year left with another 12-month option.
How many appearances did he do? He did a lot from the bench, didn't he? 20 plus from the bench, 25 plus.
Yeah, but he was all right until January window, and then when we signed Sarmiento, his appearances they diminished, didn't they? Because you got a better player. Then this is the way that we went to improve our team, didn't we? And then Harness, look, 2 goals against Birmingham. Why? There you go, Colin. Tell me why Humphreys can play in the Championship when he's hardly played in the Championship?
Because That's the bottom line, and Colin Plum said so.
That
Like,
is your
that.
blue tinted glasses.
No,
and you have to take them off now.
You do.
It's whether or not someone would take a chance on him, as Norwich did.
Is he going to play? Is Cameron Humphreys going to play 46 games next season in the Championship?
Seems unlikely, doesn't it? It does seem unlikely.
We shall wait and see.
That could be a good move. That could be a good move for Humphreys. A team being promoted.
No, I think he means Harness. I think he means
Harness. Yeah. Like Marcus
What's he got left on his deal?
He's got a year plus an extra 12 months if we take it up.
I think he'll get a good fee for him, and he might go back into the top end league, but he'll be a decent player. Yeah, that seems a no-brainer to me to sell him. He's got value, I think.
But we moved on, didn't we? We moved on from him. He was good when he came in. Then he had that injury. Then you obviously signed Broadhead. And then so he went down the pecking order. And then he was like, he played some games last season before Christmas, didn't he, Matt, when he came in? I think he played well. Was it the whole game he scored?
Yeah. I mean, it's the player trading model, isn't it, that Ashton always refers to? I mean, I think there's a good fee there. Like you say with Edmondson, I think you can get a good fee for Harness.
But there's certain players you signed to do the job. He done the job in League One. Yeah. Like your Ladapo. Done your job in League One. And then you move them on.
Okay. So Broadhead and Burns, I'm going to say you're both keeping. That's not a problem. Not going to waste time there. Right. I want to talk about quickly, Don Ball. We released it. He's got, according to my spreadsheet here, he has got Dominic Ball is
out of contract.
Out of contract. So you're not renewing that deal, are you? I wouldn't have thought.
Don Ball has had the time of his life these last few weeks. He's been singing with Ed Sheeran, leading the songs in the dressing room, singing in a toilet with Ed Sheeran. I mean,
talking of singing, my Alexa just started randomly playing Baby Shark. Very odd.
Sharp mentality. Sharp mentality.
Yeah.
So look, Don Ball, he's not played the football that he probably thought he was going to when he came into the football club.
Well, did he start any games? Oh, he's at QPR, didn't he? At home, he started that game.
Yeah,
okay.
He's going.
Yeah,
Ball's going. Ball's going.
Caden Jackson out of contract.
Going
for you.
Yeah.
Rich made a good point yesterday at the cricket. He thought that he'd be a good signing for someone like a Wrexham.
Yeah, you can see that.
Good shout.
I can see him playing for Oxford as well. To be fair.
Any of our players we send into Oxford. Baggett, Humphreys.
It wouldn't surprise me if he got another 12 months, Jackson. It wouldn't, because I know Kieran likes him. But I think now he's done his job. He's seen us go down. He's come back. He's got the medal. And I think now he moves on. And he goes with everyone's best wishes, which probably, when you would say that a couple of seasons ago, Matt, it probably wouldn't have been the departure that you would have expected for Caden Jackson, would it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're spot on. He'd started 9 games. I think, look, if no one's making double figures in games in the Championship, what chances in the Premier League? Yeah, I think he'll go.
I agree. I'm really thanks ever so much, Caden. But Jack Taylor. I'm loaning Jack Taylor out.
No.
I'm laying it on the line right now.
Here's the conundrum.
Big Jack Taylor fan. Love Jack Taylor, but I'm going to bring in a central midfield player next week.
7 starts in the Champ.
You bringing in what?
A central midfield player next week. As in, like, on my players I'd like to go and get, an area I will target is a central midfield player. So you've got Morse and Mass. One of those won't start. You've got... So what happens with Jack Taylor?
For me, and I've said this, and I said it to you, Matt.
Yeah.
For a lot of games next season, I'll be playing an extra midfielder anyway, especially away from home.
Which has got
I'm going to go 4-3-3. 4-3-3 in possession, out of possession, 4-5-1. Everyone drops
Look at this.
Today we're playing 4-4-2.
Because we are not going to dominate the ball. Well, saying that, I see the stat last week that we only had, in all the games last season, we only had 52% of possession in all the games, which surprised me a little bit. You're going to have a lot less in the Premier League. In games here.
Depends on the opposition.
But when you're going away to a city and them teams, you are going to be chasing the ball. You are going to need people who've got legs and who can get around the pitch. And Jack Taylor's got that for me.
It's a good shout.
He can get forward and he can get back. So there'll be games where he would come in, Morsey would be playing, and then I'm definitely signing another midfielder. You're going to need 4 central midfielders for me, I think.
Morsey's a 2 in.
Including what you've got already.
So you're having Morsey and Mass plus another 2.
And
I'm having Morsey with somebody else, with Mass and somebody else's as the
possibly.
two
You
to
got
push them.
you got Morsey Luongo, and you're keeping Taylor. So what? You're getting another
I'm
two
not.
in there?
No, he's getting Taylor. He's chopping his favourite player out.
So
I'm
you're loaning
loaning
him
Jack
out.
Taylor out. Yeah. Just because you loan a player out doesn't mean you've given up on him. Doesn't mean you think he's a bad player. What it means is he's 25.
Yeah.
I want him playing games of football because next year I think he could be a really good Premier
The
League player with one
Championship.
more. Yeah, but I think if you got 46 games at a good Championship side, let's say a Sunderland, for example, just pick a team out of the air. Sunderland.
Hang on.
Right.
You said good side.
They were playoffs last year, right? So they're not the worst side in the world, but whoever. He'd be a much better player than playing 5 games or 6 games from the bench or starting in the Premier League, in my opinion. Just my opinion.
It all depends, like the club he
Kieran
goes
McKenna.
to, because
Makes
if we look at Sunderland, you don't need to go to a club who a manager. You get rid of your manager every 2 or 3 months, and then someone else comes in, and then you're thinking, "Oh, hang on, I don't fancy that player. He's not going to play." I'd keep him. I don't see. You've chased him for so long. I think there's something there with him. I think he's good enough.
All right.
I get with you that he needs to play games, but it's a case of some of these players who we might not think are good enough might turn out to be good enough, because we had the same. We had the same, Matt, in 99, 2000 when we went up. Did you ever think Jermaine Wright would have been good enough to play in the Premier League?
No.
He was excellent that first season in the Premier League. He was one of our standout players. So there's players there who...
You see, he's not going to get hit. When I signed Flynn Downs and Mike Brown loses his mind...
I'm signing Flynn Downs. I've said it the last week. I've tweeted.
Yeah.
Massive Flynn Downs fan.
Can you imagine a midfield of Morsey and Downs? Oh.
It's interesting, isn't it? When you look at Taylor and Harness's season, they're almost identical. So Harness was 7 starts, 27 from the bench, 4 goals. Taylor's 7 starts, 26 from the bench, 2 goals. And there I am saying, I'd probably sell Harness. I would probably get... I agree with Rich a little bit. I probably would keep Taylor, I think, around. I think I would.
What was he signed for? Was he signed to be the successor to Mass?
We don't really know, do we?
No.
This is the thing. We've never.
We've also found out that Matt did say this. There was a few of them games at the end of the season when he came on. He played further forward.
Yeah, he did.
So you could play him in that role.
He's got a rocket of a shot. You might need that in the Premier League, having a shot from distance. I would keep him round, I think. I think the fact we chased him for so long, he's younger, obviously younger than Harness. There's sellable value in Harness. I would keep Taylor around the building. Yeah, I think I would. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
I'd keep Jack Taylor just for the photo of him looking at Alex Griffin when he's standing in front of the bus. It's brilliant. If anyone's not seen that,
it's a great photo. We love Alex on the platform.
You've got to zoom in on Jack Taylor's face, everybody, because it's
the first thing I noticed.
Brilliant.
There's a guy in front of the bus. Who is this? Is what he's thinking.
I am the Jack Taylor bandwagon driver.
You are.
I'm
just diverting it for a year to somewhere else. Wow. That's all. So I love Jack Taylor.
You're looking at him as this long-term prospect.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I remember sitting here throughout the course of the season with fans telling me he's not good enough. If you don't think he's good enough in the Championship.
That was the overriding of sense from most of the Talking Town community that comment on here, I think. Yeah, I agree with that, yeah.
So if you don't think he was good enough in the Championship, I don't want him drowning, so to speak, in the Premier League.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a good player in there, and it would be unfair on him. That's my opinion. I'm not Kieran McKenna. I could be well and truly wrong. Before we come to the strikers, on Kieran McKenna, obviously Christian Walton was at Brighton previously. Perhaps Walton can give him some information on places to live and restaurants and things, because the reports have it that McKenna is highly favoured.
He's going to be so busy next season, Kieran, because he's going to be managing about 4 teams so far.
Chelsea's got linked through now. Chelsea as well.
FIFA.
Right, let's go through the clubs. Chelsea. Not a chance he goes there. That's a graveyard. Man United, right? He's got the links at United, and I've had people telling me he'd be mad to turn them down. United are in a mess on and off the field. They've got a stadium falling apart.
Literally.
They've got a team that is in need of massive changes. Of personnel. Is that a good time for a manager who's been? What has he managed? 2.5 seasons, Matt?
Yeah.
Firstly, I don't see Man United taking a chance on a manager who's never managed in the Premier League. No matter how good we think Kieran McKenna is, is he going to be managing one of the biggest clubs in the world? I don't see that as a starter. I honestly don't. And as for Brighton, I think Brighton are a really good football club. I've spoken here a couple of times about Tony Bloom with the job he's done there, the money they've spent on the stadium.
Yeah.
But have they reached their ceiling? where they can get.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. I mean, I feel like Brighton, I know they're established in the Premier League now and they've played European football, etc. That feels more of a sideways move to me. Do you know what I mean? I mean, look, I think we can reach those heights. Look how quickly we've transitioned in the last 2 seasons, League One to the Premier League. Who knows what the ceiling's going to be under McKenna? So it would seem like a no-brainer for him to stay with us. And as Goldbridge said, Man United wouldn't even be linked with McKenna had he not been at Man United in the first place.
Yeah.
Which goes back to your point, Rich. It's not someone who's managed in the Premier League. So,
see, I think he gives us another season at least. If we're sitting here this time next season and we've stayed in the Premier League and we've had a decent season, then his stock's going to be even more higher. And it wouldn't surprise me then if a club came in and he moved on. But I think now, look, I might be wrong. I think Kieran is a really honourable person. I do. I think he's got a great relationship with Mark Ashton. He's got everything he wanted. At the club, they're building a new training ground.
Yeah.
And
whether you like it or not, Brighton's a better job. Whether you like it or not,
just because they're more mainstay in the Premier League than what we've been. That's the only reason.
Isn't the current manager leaving to go to Bayern Munich?
But they're only, well, we don't.
No, we were chatting about that yesterday.
It's been linked to Munich. You're right. Juventus.
He's obviously going because he's breaking his contract and they've given him permission. It wouldn't surprise me if Brighton went back to Graham Potter, if he went back there.
Yeah, we thought that yesterday.
Good shout.
But they're not going to finish any higher. They're not going to finish any higher than 10th. Brighton. They've not got European football on the horizon or anything.
I don't think he's ended the project at Town. I think he's going to give us at least one more season.
Chapter.
And then, but we can I get who people will say, but Vincent Kompany, it was the same with him last season.
Yeah.
His stock was really high. And now
is it?
Yeah, but it's not the end for Vincent Kompany. I think he can bring Burnley back up and show that he's still a good manager. I honestly think that.
Yeah, but he was having interviews last year. Was it with Tottenham? Company or at least linked with Tottenham? Being linked with Tottenham now, is he? Like if Tottenham was available,
this is the problem.
Go to Spurs with their small club mentality. They're shit fans. Absolutely. Let's quickly talk about that. Like that the other night was everything wrong with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I mean, you have got a chance of still getting in the Champions League. Oh no, but you'd rather lose. You'd rather lose because you don't want your rivals winning the league. Well, hang on. If you actually done your fucking job a couple of weeks earlier when you played Arsenal, you'd have stopped them then. I mean, no one. Look, I love Ange Postecoglou, and I see him at the start of the season, Matt. This is how it grinds you down in the Premier League. He's all calling everyone mate when he's being interviewed, and he's all smiles. The press conference after that game, he's absolutely fuming.
He was
because he is a football manager who's employed to win games, and this is where when we spoke on here on the Sunday after we lost to Norwich, Martin. When Mike came on and he said about McKenna, he didn't show that passion. For football managers, it's different than fans. That's their job to win football matches, and they don't get caught up in all the emotion and all the rivalry because they can't do that because they have to keep level-headed. Yeah. Fans can do that. I get that, but he was fuming. Did you see that when he was having a go at the guy sitting behind the benches the other night, Matt? Because that guy kept basically telling them he wanted to lose. You're sitting there, you're trying to manage your team. I thought Spurs played all right the other night. I didn't think they threw one in, but supporters for me. Son had got Man City on his betting slip to win the league, so that's obviously why he missed that one.
It's a joke.
But it was like it was like there was no atmosphere in the stadium from the Spurs fans until Man City scored. And then they started singing, and I'm thinking, this is why everyone calls you Spursy and everyone has a go and always takes the piss out of Tottenham. They'll probably smash us next season, but who gives a stuff? Tottenham, you're a shit club. You've got shit mentality, but we love Ange Postecoglou.
The Spurs fans I know were saying, we're not really ready for the Champions League. But I was like, bloody hell, you was only in the final, 3 seasons ago against Liverpool in Madrid?
That's the Villa. Shout out Villa.
Yeah. I just think out of all the clubs linked with, Brighton are the biggest threat in terms of...
Do you seriously, Gov, think he will go this summer?
Oh, do I seriously think he will go? No, but if he does, Brighton do speak to me as a team that would...
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, I do agree with that. But only because of the style of play and they've got a good...
Style of play, the stability of the football club.
Yeah.
Stability. There's a lot of stability at Brighton. And it's not like a West Ham, for example, where it's often...
I think promotion has totally changed it. If we hadn't gone up, I could see Brighton. I could see them then coming to maybe cherry pick him. Now we've got promotion. I don't see him leaving this summer. Maybe I'm just got my head buried in the sand, and I just want to get that McKenna tattoo, and I don't want it to backfire on me.
One thing is for sure.
Same day.
Oh my God. Oh no.
One thing's for sure, we're in a better position. We're in a much better position, obviously, not just league. I mean, in terms of who is selecting the next manager.
It shows how far we've come as a football club. People they're talking about our manager, but he's our manager.
Yeah.
He ain't your manager at the minute. Keep your greasy little mitts off. You can have him in a year or two's time when he's got us established in the Premier League. At the minute, Chelsea do one, Man United do one, Brighton, I like you as a football club, but you've reached your ceiling, and we'll overtake you in 2 or 3 years.
I think it will say volumes about Kieran, actually, that if he decides to stay with Town and follow Ipswich on that path to where Brighton are now, like you're saying, right, like it's quite equivalent to what we want to do. There's a blueprint there, but he's willing to take the risk. Like you say, company this time last year, he could be the next Man City manager. He could be talking to Tottenham, etc., etc. But then
don't you like that? Don't you like that loyalty? I like that loyalty that he's
willing to take the risk. Yeah, he's willing to take that risk and have faith in his own ability. Yeah,
exactly. They have to have faith in their own ability, and there has to be a right time as well. You've only got to look at Lampard, Matt, when he was at Derby. Yeah, and look, I get the emotional attachment he had to Chelsea because he was Chelsea through and through. When Chelsea come calling, he wasn't going to turn it down because he's probably thinking, this is my chance to go. If you look at it now, probably a bad move. I don't think Lampard in the first spell at Chelsea done that bad a job because I think they had a transfer embargo then.
Yeah.
I don't think he done that bad, but it's Potter as well. Potter made that jump. And I think now he's probably thinking, should I stay at Brighton? I get with people saying, yeah, but you might not have that opportunity again. Kieran's only 38 years of age.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he could have another 25, 30 years in management. And I don't think he's in a rush to get there. I honestly don't. I think he's got his head screwed on. You only have to listen to him.
Yeah.
After we've had a defeat, which was very rare, when all people are losing their heads, you listen to Kieran McKenna after a game talk, and it just brings everything back down to a level because he talks so sensibly, and he talks in terms that, like when a Paul Lambert, Martin, when he had an interview, you never learn anything because he'd give you just them same bog standard answers. Where McKenna talks in terms where he talked to a person, and you actually can understand what he's trying to say to you. And look, we love Kieran McKenna, and it'll be a really sad day when he leaves the football club. But I honestly don't think it's going to be this summer. I don't.
I think the difference between him and Lampard and Gerrard was because they were such huge internationally renowned players, capped however many times for England. There's an ego about that, and their names were sung from the Cop and at Stamford Bridge, right? Whereupon, as you said the other week, Rich, he's been coaching since he's 20, 21, McKenna. He's coming from it from a completely different angle.
Yeah.
So, I don't think the clock's ticking. I don't think the ego of a player is there to rush back to somewhere where you was adored. I mean, he's just on a more steadier path.
Archie says McKenna's very much in on the project. Would be a massive step back. Massive stab in the back if he did go. See, I don't disagree with that. I see what Archie's saying. That's why I sort of jumped on your. I think he's an honourable man when you said it, Rich. I thought if he leaves, his honour is not in question. It's a better job potentially. You could argue to the cows come home whether you think Brighton is a better job than Ipswich Town Football Club.
Only because they're established in the Premier League over the last couple of seasons.
That's really hard to do.
But we're on that blueprint, hopefully.
We've spoken on this on here like seasons gone by where we've got teams like Brighton and Bournemouth and Brentford, all these teams who used to be below Town.
Yeah.
But
divisions below.
They've gone that way and we've gone that way because it was just how we run as a football club. We're now on the way back. We've still got ground to make up on them, and it ain't easy. It's not easy to get where a Bournemouth. I know people say, their ground only holds 12,000. You've only got to look where they are this season. I think they could finish 10th today. They've got a record number of points. I think they've got 48 points.
48.
And you have to take your hats off, Martin, to little Bournemouth. Who've not spent a lot of money.
No, fairy tale. Fairy tale of Bournemouth. That's what it is, boys. The fairy tale of Bournemouth. Right, back to the squad. We've got the strikers. Chaplin, not going to bother talking about because we're going to keep him. You might replace him next week. I don't know, but we're going to keep him certainly. Ladapo. Still got a year on his deal, loaned out to Charlton, obviously part of the celebrations. Rich is saying bye-bye.
Yeah, Freddie's going.
Rich is saying bye-bye.
Yeah, I think they'll probably terminate his contract and he'll become a free agent. I think it's probably what will happen there.
Yeah, agree with that. So then you've got obviously loan players returning, or you've got Who have we got? We have got Ghassan Hadmi coming back. He's
Give
still
him a
got
new deal. Get him in the Premier League.
He's got a year with an option. So
he'll go to Cambridge, won't he? They'll do a deal so he can go to Cambridge.
I think there'll be a few League One teams looking now, Matt, with the loan
He's
spell
very
he had.
good,
You think you got one of their players of the year? I think he got 13 goals and he had an injury in that.
Yeah.
So I'm selling.
The gas man. The gas man can go back to League One and he can have a decent move. Get a bit of money for him.
Good luck to him.
Absolutely beautiful. All right, that just leaves Ali Al Hamadi before we come to the loan players.
And we were debating this one yesterday.
I'm loaning Ali out to the Championship side. I want him playing 46 games. I want him playing good football, and I want him firing. And I want his development to not be stifled by potentially a really hard campaign, a really difficult season in the sense of not able to get on the pitches often because of our formation changes or whatever it might be. I think Ali's a really good player, will be a great player, but he needs a loan spell. Richard Moss.
What story it's going to be from League Two to the Premier League? I will
in 6 months.
He's had his operation. Hopefully that went well, and he's going to be back. See, I'm a bit torn here.
Come on, Rich.
I might keep him until January. There you go. I'm sitting on the fence a little bit there. I might see how it goes with him, and then you could possibly loan him out for the second half of the season. I understand where you're going from, Gov. I do understand what you're saying. That look, we signed him. He's obviously a long-term signing because we signed him on a 4-year deal, didn't we? So he's going to be a big player for the football club. Can he play in the Premier League?
Sorry, he's 22, so still young.
Yeah, can he play in the Premier League? Look, Jamie Vardy, he come from playing for Fleetwood Town. I'm not saying he's going to have anywhere as near as good a career as him, but I'm keeping him till January, and it's a case of seeing what he can do, and then possibly it could be the same with Taylor as well, Martin. You know, you could get to that January window, and you might think, right, now's the time to loan them out, and they can go and get some football. But I'm keeping him, and at the minute, if I keep him, if I with my squad at the minute, if I'm losing Ali, I've only got 14 players.
Well, you only have 25, and we obviously talk about bringing people in, but we've got a rarity here.
You can't get rid of everybody, though, can you? You can't loan everybody out.
Yeah, you can.
I mean,
do a Chelsea.
But you can only loan 2 in. Therefore, you're going to have to pay some wedge to replace these people you're loaning out.
This is what I'm saying. If I'm keeping Ali in my squad, Matt, I've got 15 at the minute with the players that I've let go and with the loans that have gone. That's 10 players I've got to sign.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean,
well, you know,
and they've got to gel, Rich. They've got to gel.
We've got a rare. I think we've got a first on Talking Town history. We've got a question in the comments for Matt, not for Rich, but for Matt.
It's unbelievable.
Archie says,
freeze frame.
Normally it's people asking Rich with their opinion, but Archie says, Matt, do you think Ali would suit the Sunderland setup?
I don't think Sunderland fans know what their setup is at the moment. It depends who comes in. It depends who comes in as their manager. I don't think they've announced anyone yet, have they? But I would listen. That he made a really great impact when he come in. I said to you yesterday, Rich. Do you remember when we played Wimbledon in the Cup and on the commentary they were going, "Oh, Wimbledon haven't got Ali Al Hamadi available because he's at the Asia Cup," and I was thinking, "I wonder a pivotal player for them. I wonder who he is." Lo and behold, later that month he signs for us.
Yeah, he come out of the wilderness, didn't he?
Yeah, the wilderness. Yeah, absolutely. I'd be keeping him because I don't think we can keep loaning everybody out, and I think if you've got striker options and he's got the pace and we've seen what he can do. Look, I'm not saying he's Premier League ready. Absolutely not. We don't know who's Premier League ready. You might be surprised by somebody. I would certainly keep him around. I think Rich has got a good idea there. I think you keep him till January and then see how the land lies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mike D says, Gov, Matt and Rich, the demolition dudes.
It's good. We talked about that this day, Rich, weren't we? Royal Rumble.
Phil says, Gov, let's talk about the windfall to the Premier League clubs town we get. We did that, Phil. Did that at the start of the show, my man. Yeah, we've already talked about the 5 million town get for Leeds and Southampton being promoted. Yeah, okay. So you're keeping him, Matt, and you're keeping him, Rich.
Yeah. Keep him till Jan, and then we'll see how we go.
Jan, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, right. I mean, look, who knows? The exuberance of youth. Look how he stepped up, like you say, League Two to Premier League. Who knows what he could do in the Premier League? You know, he's just. I'd
love to see him rattling a few. I'd love to see him rattling a few of them Premier League centre halves.
Yeah, I'm sure he would. Yeah,
but he might not be good enough. But I think he
from the bench.
Yeah, I think he deserves to have a shot at it. I do. Yeah. I honestly do.
Yeah.
All right. No, fair enough. Okay, Kiefer Moore. would you be looking to retain his services either as a loan or a permanent transfer? Matt is saying yes. Nice and easy. Love
I
that.
know Rich disagrees with me. I would be. Look, I know he's in the twilight of his career, but look, he's, what was it? 14 starts, 7 goals, 4 from the bench, I think it was. Brilliant. And that was only from January. I just think like we probably need an experienced head from the Premier League to help us. And he's part of that continuation and the momentum of the Championship promotion. So yeah. And I think he'll be surplus requirements at Bournemouth because they've got a deal in place to sign that kid from Getafe. So which allowed him to move to us in the first place. So yeah, keep him in for a year, I would say. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. This is why I'm letting sort of Ali go out on loan, because I'm bringing in 2 strikers. One of them is Keeper Moore. Rich?
No, wouldn't sign him.
Right.
I think. Look, he's got a year. I think at Bournemouth, he's obviously going to leave. I think he'll go probably top end Championship team. I think he's a one where look, he's had a great loan spell. He's come in and he's done what we needed at the time. You know, we were desperate for that striker, weren't we? When Hurst, he's gone. Look, I wouldn't be against it if we did sign him. It all depends who's available. You know, for whatever money that we're going to spend.
Exactly.
Look, he's got a year. What sort of fee would they ask for? You know, look, I'll compare. So you've got Kiefer Moore available. You'd have to pay some money, Matt, for him.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a fee.
And then on this end, I've got Che Adams, who's been released by Southampton, who's played in the Premier League and scored probably more goals than Kiefer Moore's actually scored in the Premier League. It depends, like what you want to do and where you want to go. And look, obviously, he was probably richly rewarded for what he done. You know, we haven't paid him peanuts, have we? Exactly, when he's come in, and he scored 7 goals. Scored. Look, the goal he scored at Coventry. I remember that night. It weren't quite up there. It wasn't quite up there for George Hurst limbs at Barnsley, because that is still one of my favourite goals for Town. It was just that moment that we'd scored about 2 minutes earlier. That was fantastic. But that goal, I wouldn't have wanted that ball in that situation, Matt, to fall for anyone else on that pitch that night. Yeah, he was ice cool. It come to him, bang! It was 1-0.
Great finish through players.
He had to drive it through the players on the line, and he done his job. And I think it's like I said last week on here, he's put to bed that first spell that he had at Town. And he had that unfinished business, didn't he? And he wanted to probably come back. That's probably one of the reasons he probably come to Town.
Another chapter, exactly.
When he could have gone to them other clubs, I want to go back to there and I want to write another chapter and I want to close the book because I didn't cover myself in any glory. So look, if he comes in, he brings that experience, played in the Premier League, plays for Wales, he's played at tournaments. All to me, it depends. It's going to be value for money. Because we're only going to have a certain amount of money that we can spend here. Yes. And if we're looking at maybe bringing in 10 players, it depends. Because if you want 2 or 3 decent quality, you're going to be spending that transfer record that Richard Chandler promised us on the Discord that we'd break twice last season. Crystal ball. He's not normally wrong because he did predict. He looked into his crystal ball last night and he predicted Usyk would win the fight.
He did. As did you, actually. As did you.
Didn't surprise me. Gov. It was a great message, guys, that everyone put out on the watch. Gov said, "Yeah, he's going to take him here in the next 2 rounds." And are you doing a boxing rap? Are you doing another?
Yeah, we would do. We would do. Brilliant. Yeah, but he should have done. He should have taken him in the next 2 rounds. He literally got sloppy, got rocked, and then was in Dream Street.
Got rocked. He was bouncing off that. Should have been bouncing off them ropes, wasn't he? Oh my Lord! I've never seen anything. He was like a tree. He was like a tree when you've got the axe and you need one final chop, and it's like, oh my Lord!
But he wasn't even like a tree, Rich, because trees normally swing their branches. He literally threw no punches in that sequence. Literally,
it was
he
like
not
this is
himself whatsoever.
This is unbelievable. It's one of them moments when you're watching something, you're genuinely thinking, "Wow."
It reminded me of coming out of Tesco's and dropping your bag for life and chasing after it down a car park. Literally,
in the wind.
Yeah, he's blowing across the ring, and Usyk's like following him, literally trying to get hold of him.
It's a great historical moment for boxing, heavyweight boxing. That was
incredible.
Yeah, not if you're a Fury fan like I am. It wasn't a great historical moment, but we move. All right, Sarmiento. If loan or sell, loan or buy. Sorry,
he's magic.
This is the thing, isn't it? I mean, look, what would the price be? And we've debated it before. Would you want to take up a loan? One of our precious loan slots, the 2, to get him back. I don't know. Again, it comes back to like the Kiefer Moore equation you just said there, Rich. what is the pool of players that we could actually afford and get in? And is there someone better? Yeah, because like you said, mine. Whenever we got out of League One, we got to Championship. You're always swimming in a bigger pool, bigger sea, and we're here now, aren't we? We're here now. So
are we looking to upgrade that position?
Exactly. There's potential of upgrades here.
So Broadhead plays in that position. Is Sarmiento in the Premier League? Is he an upgrade on Nathan Broadhead? I don't think he is. I think he's a good player, right? I wouldn't be loaning him. I wouldn't be wasting a loan because we've only got 2. And I want the loan players I sign. I'm probably going to be wanting them to be pushing and probably maybe starting for the first team. Not coming on for 25 minutes for spells here and there. I don't think we're in that position. I think that hampers a little bit, guys. There's only been 2 loan signings with a team that's come up because we've got there was 5, weren't there? When you add Williams in that we had. And you look 1, 2, 3 of them have played big roles in Amari, Kiefer Moore, and Sarmiento. So, I'd be looking for that position. I'll be looking to sign. I'll put it out there now because I'm not on next week, by the way. I'll be putting a bid in for Jack Clark from Sunderland because I think there is an immediate upgrade on that position. And then Broadhead is me backup. So Sarmiento, I wouldn't sign.
So according to Transfer Market, the market value of Sarmiento is 3.5 mil. I think it feels like a bit more than that, doesn't it? But it's a difficult one, isn't it? He's been great. Look, what we've always said, don't get emotionally attached to loan players. He's got his own song. He scores the goal, one of the great moments against Southampton at Portman Road. Difficult one. I just wonder if you do look at the wider pool of players and see what else is available there.
So you're saying no?
I'll probably say no, yeah. Which pains me a little bit because I love it because he's flair playing. I love flair players, but I just feel like there might be other options there.
Okay, and Hutchinson is a yes across the board. Not even a question.
I'd love to sign him. What's the wedge?
Yep, that's fine. Doesn't matter if loan or permanent. Just so I know for the numbers, and I'll get the squads all typed up so you can see it.
You'd use up the stock for him, wouldn't you? Right?
If it had to be a loan, I'd definitely go for him. I said to Matt yesterday, I know people are reading a lot into that post he put out, Gov, on Instagram, like saying it's a good buy. I don't think that is because I think that's just he's obviously not wrote that. That's from one of his
probably his agent.
It's a great video. The video package is brilliant. I don't think that's a good buy. I think it's just thanking everybody for the time that he's had at the club, and he's thanking the fans. He's thanking Kieran because his progression. I personally think with him, I think he'll end up going and playing in Europe somewhere because I think they'll want him to play European football. If he stayed in the Premier League, I'd be disappointed if he went to another club because I think hopefully Town will be at the front of that queue because I think he could progress.
I do wonder where what did because McKenna's very cagey, isn't he, when he talks and things. And when he got up on the stage at the dinner and they said, "What do you want for your birthday?" He goes, "Murray Hutchinson." I wonder if they just are going to try and sign him. He's 4.5 mil according to market value, right? So it could be double that. So we look at what
that's what the Adnams Ghost ship does for you, Matt. You see,
4.5 million.
Get looser at parties. Do you know what I mean? Like, what you want for your birthday? Murray Hutchinson.
He went for that, didn't he? To Nottingham Forest, I think 4.5 million.
I'll go 10, 12 million with add-ons and Chelsea would have the first dibs of signing him back.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think they'll try and do that. I think they'll try and do that. How could if he goes, such a void? It's such a void to have that holdout after what he's done for us.
If he goes to either of those valuations, boys, and he doesn't wear a Town shirt next year, I'll be very disappointed. Very disappointed.
Where do you think he'll end up, mine? Where do you think he'll end up? Do you think he'll end
up? Brighton with McKenna, to be fair.
Such a pessimist.
No,
we've lost Hutchinson and McKenna's left us as well.
If Kieran's in the dugout, where do you think he plays his football?
Oh, here. Definitely here. Definitely.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope that's the deal.
What European competition are you saying he needs to play in terms of you said in Europe, or you're just saying in Europe?
I think he like a Dortmund or someone like that. I think he could go Bundesliga, but I think with him
enough for that level at this point in time.
Was Jadon Sancho good enough when he went out?
Yeah, exactly. Stuttgart pipped Bayern Munich to second yesterday. They're in the Champions League. So
you've just got with Amari, we're just going to have to be really. I know fans have got no patience whatsoever. We're going to have to be very, very patient here because I think they said he's going to go on their tour. I think that's July.
Unless a deal's made, of course, before then.
Possibly. But I think you're going to have to, they're probably going to take him away and have a look at him. A lot, Matt, depends on who the manager at Chelsea is, because
that's not.
It's not guaranteed that Pochettino is going to be there next season. I think he probably will, because he's going to get him into Europe. But I think he's not going to play for Chelsea next season. Let's hope he's in the blue of town.
Yeah,
I think these few weeks of him, being available to train with Chelsea is good, because it will give them a head start in terms of viewing him, his ability compared to the rest of the squad. It will just be evaluation. I think there'll be a deal there to be made. If someone like Dortmund comes in for him, then okay, yeah, no chance. But that's 95% of Premier League teams. If Dortmund want a player, you ain't going to get him. Like Brighton, for example, probably would struggle to compete with the Dortmund, Champions League finalists, etc. But if you're telling me out of the rest of the Premier League teams, we have got the best chance, in my opinion. Because McKenna is proven to make players better. He loves it here already, so he's already involved in the.
If the player wanted to go, there's not much else the club could do then.
Yeah,
and we obviously know he likes it, but who knows? Who knows? And
Premier League football is Premier League football. We do a plan for West Ham or Ipswich. You'll still be able to, arguably put up the same stats. So Chelsea's development point of view, who do you trust more than McKenna? Really, he's proven that. Yeah. Proven it. Not just one player. He's proven it across several players. So, I think Ipswich Town, if McKenna is still here, has the
Let's hope so.
Advantage.
We've got one more player. Well, Lewis Travis obviously not going to come back.
That was the hardest part of my season.
But we've got one player who we should discuss who will massively divide opinion. We've got to talk about Brandon Williams. We have to talk about him because
we don't.
We do, because
he ain't coming back.
If you look on the socials, and I know it's not like everything, there is a lot of Town fans who would sign Brandon Williams. There is a lot of Town fans. They will say, if McKenna could straighten him out. I look at it from a football point of view. If it was just football, 100% I would sign him, because I think he's played Premier League football. I think he's played 50-odd games, 60-odd games for United, and I think when he came in.
Yeah, certainly played lots of Europe.
He's got the quality to play in the Premier League. He'd be on a free transfer, which you have to look at. And I think we're going to be looking for a right back, aren't we? So he would fit, ideally, he would fit into that position. But then I look on, and I'm not going to speculate, but I have to look on the outside of the demons that he's got. And can someone get hold of him like a McKenna? And McKenna knows him because he had him as a kid and he gave him his debut, I think, for the under-18s. That's why he got him on loan. And he probably thought that he could. When he bought him in this time, can he straighten him out? Because if you can, you've got a great footballer there. You have. I think nobody can argue with that. He has got the talent. It's whether he must know now. Someone has to have a word in his ear, Matt, Brandon Williams, and say, listen, you are 22, 23 years of age. You're potentially flushing your career down the toilet here if you do not straighten yourself out. I think you have to have an honest conversation with him and throw it over to him.
Yeah,
is it too much of a risk, though?
Is it really Ipswich Town's problem? Do you know what I mean? He is a Manchester United player. And again, I'd go back to what we've been saying earlier. Look, he scored that goal against Preston when he ran the length of the pitch. Fantastic. Brilliant. That was great to see. So, yeah, he had moments with us. But again, we've now got a huge pool of players that want to play in the Premier League that we can go to and attract to Ipswich Town. As harsh as it sounds, he's not our player. He's actually not our problem, and we wouldn't be talking about it if he didn't have the link with McKenna and Manchester United, which brought him to us in the first place. Good luck to him. But I just think, if I'm looking at Ipswich Town business, there's a whole raft of players who could play that position that we could probably entice to the club.
What position is he, Rich?
Well, he played at right back, didn't he, mainly?
So he's your third right back.
Well, Axel's me. I'm not. I personally wouldn't sign him. I've just thrown it out there to people.
Yeah. But that's where I'm coming from. I'll ignore everything else off the field. And just
if I'm football numbers, Axel's me spare sort of centre back, and I think you're going to possibly, but you're going to need cover at left back as well, because we've only got Leif Davis, so you're going to have to sign.
Yeah, it's going to be someone.
And Brandon Williams can play both sides. So if it isn't Williams, and I don't think it will be. I think if you need, I think they might sign a fullback who can play both sides, and you kill two birds with one stone there. I think I know. Look, I'll probably when next week comes along and people will talk about, they'll look at Aaron Cresswell, the left back. He's being released by West Ham. He's 34. Would he come and do a job, or are we a bit too emotionally attached to him because we had him before?
Do a great job as a Sonny Aluko type. Premier League experience, can fill in when he needs to, but offers more in the dressing room perhaps than he does on the grass. On Williams, I really hope he has a fantastic career, and he looks back and it's a big turning point for him. And it's not one of those things he looks back and thinks what ifs, because he could have been a part of something really special here. And I really hope he goes on to have a fantastic career. But personally, good player, but not the right time for just Town Football Club.
I agree, but I think we had to talk about it. I think because he was obviously he was part of the squad, and it is a shame. But football is I would have thought he'd get a medal.
Get one, I would have thought.
Played enough games, but football is a very, very short career. Just Brandon Williams, just get your head down and use your talent, because you fucking loads of people would give their fucking left fucking arm to be a professional footballer.
He's some player. He's some player.
He is. But it's just sometimes you get taken over by your demons and whatever, and maybe you can't shake it off. And I really just hope he does. I honestly hope he does, because I love watching him in Town shirt. When them games, the header at Huddersfield, Matt, where he popped up with that diving header, the game against Preston, the goal, and then everyone remembers that tackle right near the end when he absolutely clatters matey over by the touchline. But
and then
he won't play for Town again. That's just my point of view.
If you are going to give your left arm to be a Premier League player, you're probably not going to be a goalkeeper. Probably would hamper your career slightly.
You see, you say he's not going to play for Town again. He's a player I could see playing for Town in 2 or 3 years' time. Personally,
depends.
But right now, not perhaps what we need in terms of the squad makeup and where we need to be sort of diverting the resources. You've already said we're bringing in 10 players. Well, you can't, you can't bring in everybody. Having chopped everybody out of the squad that you
10
didn't
players
particularly like.
But you're going to have to a player like him, and this is what it probably wouldn't be him, but someone. It's not going to be fees that we're going to spend a decent amount, but there's going to be free transfers coming in here that are still going to make a mark. I think you've only got to look at Ross Bartley signing for Luton. Matt. He was on a free, and someone like him,
Townsend as well.
They've done really good jobs there.
Yeah,
we're going to have to look in that market as well. We ain't just going to sign players who look.
You've got to be sustainable, isn't it? You don't want to just be splashing the cash because you got it. You've got to be sustainable with this stuff.
And a lot of these players, right, and people will say I'm being negative, but we are probably going to be one of the favourites for relegation, right? Next season.
Yeah.
So a lot of these players you are signing with who can, if you do happen to go down, they can stay the journey, as we call it, and they can help us come back up. I don't want people look at the mess that Leeds were in at the start of the season when all them rats wanted to desert the sinking ship. They all wanted out. They didn't want to stay. And now they're coming back up. I've got a mate who supports Leeds. A lot of them players want to come back. I wouldn't be touching them sort of people. You want people with the right mentality who's right. We've gone down. We're going to stay. We're going to see the journey through, and we're going to come back. Yeah,
exactly. That's the culture we've created at Town, though. We've got that with this group when we go again, if we have to, Martin.
Don't worry. Kieran will be given the oxygen. He only mentioned it twice in that interview.
It was two, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because he introduced a new mentality, shark mentality. They don't need oxygen sharks, do they? They just under the water all the time. There's all the time. Hunting.
As long as we've got the oxygen to do our jobs, that's the most important thing.
Shark mentality. That's what you need. And that's what you two have delivered on this squad, because you've literally torn it apart. And I'll put it together. So we've got
exciting, isn't it? We're talking about 10 new players coming in. I mean, Martin, you make sure that computer's working in the summer, boy, because it's going to be busy.
Yeah, I don't think we've been really harsh. If I'm being honest.
I think most people would probably agree with what we've said.
Yeah, we're just being honest, and there might be a couple of surprises. I do think the release list, the players had to know. I think it's by the 3rd Saturday in May, so that was yesterday. Yep. So I would expect that list to probably come out this week, I'd have thought, and I don't think there'll be any real surprises on that list.
No,
no,
not
players they're releasing.
Yeah,
Look, Fridge and Harness, they'll probably won't say that they're going, but I wouldn't be surprised, Matt and Martin, if their names are sort of circulated around. They're available for transfer.
The old-fashioned transfer list.
Yeah. You're on the list.
No, I just think it's a really good. Actually, strangely. and they can't have planned it in this way. It's lined up that as you enter the Premier League is the natural time that you were going to start to be refreshing your squad anyway, because players are out of contract, the 2 years are up, but for a lot of players, so you're naturally going to be refreshing it anyway, whether you're in the Championship or not, and that's the way the stars have aligned. And not often you do that. Like, it could have been if we'd perhaps stayed down a year, you can play another 2-year deal that you wouldn't have fancied in the Premier League.
I don't think they've been a lot different. The players I would have let go, honestly. Like your Danassians, your Jacksons.
If we'd stayed in the Championship,
possibly, but then you could have got, like, if you'd have got Sarmiento then.
We had a question
the
mark.
Two goalies would have stayed.
We had a question mark around Harness when we got promoted from League One, didn't we? We're like, he might be someone they would sell, but
the 2 goalies you probably would have kept. How hands down had we stayed down? So you've got that opportunity there to really revamp a whole department in terms of 1 and 2, if you wanted to go for it, or certainly as a number 1, if that's the way you wanted to see it, which Rich does, and
that's going to be really interesting. That's going to be really interesting where they go goalkeeper wise.
Will be,
I think.
Scott Carson
still pick up a medal today, probably, won't he, if they win the league?
Yeah, that kicks off surely, doesn't it? 3rd
choice goalie at Man City. I mean, he'll probably be on the bench today because Ederson's injured.
Yeah, probably will be. Yeah, good shout.
There we go. But there we go. So let us know what you think, what you feel in the chat. I'll put it all together, so we'll release it on social media in the graphic form, so you can see what the boys have done. And we'll obviously back next week with how we're going to refill this squad. Rich will give us his thoughts, and I'll bring them to the show, or we'll work out how we're going to do that.
We'll work it out.
You'll hear from Richard Moss. You never have to fear about not hearing from Richard Moss in some capacity. But yeah.
Anyway, you're not getting an invite to play at Millwall, Gov. Anyway, you disrespected my performance. Sent them a picture, everybody. Sent them a picture, and they were like, "What did you say?"
He said he's playing fourth official or something.
Unbelievable.
You said,
I'm not playing the whole game. It was 25. The weather on Thursday was absolutely perfect. I thought, yeah, this is lovely. Rain, quite cool. Getting to London about 9:15. It's blazing sun. They'd actually watered the pitch for us, guys, because that evening they had got
I hate that.
Millwall youth team versus Birmingham in a FA Youth Cups playoff game. So... And they did have the VO camera up, Martin, for us on the game.
Did they?
Yeah. I was like an old Leif Davis in the first half. And in the second half, I was like an old Harry Clark patrolling the fullback positions.
You had a few injuries on your leg, didn't you?
Yeah, I did try on this young lad. There was just this lad playing called Wes Reed, playing for the opposition. He was a professional footballer. He's 56, didn't give the ball away. Yeah, there was this lad went by me. A few years ago, I'll be quick enough to catch him. I tried to sive him down, and unfortunately, he got past me and he sort of caught me on the shin. But it was a good day had by all.
Brilliant. Sounds
What's
great.
the score?
I think it's about 9-6.
End to end.
Yeah, end to end. We hit the post twice. First half, I mean, they had about 2 chances and scored. We had loads. We hit the post twice. It was one of them games. Had a dodgy penalty we did.
So you posted a picture, and I said you can't even get a game because you're on the sidelines.
Roll off,
and then you said,
roll off subs.
Then you said played an hour, and I said running the line isn't playing.
Disrespect.
It's very disrespectful. Yeah.
Good. You played this game
yesterday. I was suffering yesterday. I was suffering. I ache like a good one.
It's hard being a linesman. You should be so hard on yourself. You know?
Look at the grief we've given them this season.
I know. Yeah, no wonder you'd be so quiet this week about about referees. You clearly now.
We didn't quickly touch on VAR, did we? About the vote.
Do we vote in that? Are we?
Yeah, we'll vote.
Is it going to be at the AGM then? Is that when they do it? Because we'll be at the AGM.
Yeah. So it was Wolves who brought it up, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you've got to have 14 clubs vote against it.
We said that's too many, didn't we, Rich? Yesterday?
Well, why is it not?
Too many.
You've got 20 clubs.
Yeah.
It's 11-9, surely.
I think it'll go through.
You think they'll scrap it?
I think they'll scrap it.
I don't think they will, because I think the top 6 will keep it. You've only got to listen the other night to, I don't know if you watched the Man U Newcastle game, and Anthony Gordon after the game. He came out with, he surprised the guy at the interview. He said, I'm fond of it. And he was like, ooh. He said, and I agree with him, I don't know if anyone see the tackle on him that should have been a penalty when I think it was Casemiro literally stands on the back of his calf. He's got a hole in his sock. Now, and this is what Anthony Gordon says, just use it and get better at it. If you're going to keep it, get back. Decisions like that is what you've brought that in for a reason. So you're looking at a replay, and he said he didn't blame the ref because it's happened quickly and he missed it. But you've got the VAR there, Matt, to get that decision right, and they've looked at it, and somehow I'm not really understanding how that they get these wrong. I don't understand it, but I think they'll still have it, Martin, next season, and we're going to have to go through it, and we'll probably be talking on here.
We'll be moaning about it like crazy.
Yeah.
If you've got 20 teams that are voting, the top 6 can vote to keep it, because the other 14, theoretically, if they all went together, could vote to remove it. Who's it benefited more? Has it benefited anybody?
Do you think it's benefited the top 6 sides? I suppose. I mean,
I think with VAR this season, I think I did see a stat, Matt, that Arsenal would probably win the league.
Really?
Yeah, but if anything, it favours the big teams, right? Because in a 0-0, if you're a smaller team, might get like Coventry, for example.
Hold on, we're getting into Nottingham Forest territory here.
Well, no, I just think because Coventry is a prime example.
Yeah,
they've done the unthinkable.
He was offside though. This is
but that's the thing. Take VAR away.
My boss is a Coventry fan, and he even said that. He said
he's offside.
It's offside. So
take VAR away. You've got a smaller team that has no right being 3-0 down and beating a bigger team. Now make league points matter on that. I just think the smaller teams should actually use their heads and think the fine margins favour us more than it favour the big teams, because they should beat us. They should smash us. But if it's 0-0 and it's 91st minute and we're through on goal,
I don't mind using it for offside. I don't mind using it for an offside, because it's literally because they're going to use that automated system, aren't they? That they had in the World Cup, but that's not actually going to be in at the start of the season, which is weird.
It is weird.
They just needed goal line technology. Where did we go from Frank Lampard's ghost goal to this?
It's Germany.
How did we get from needing that?
Yeah.
To having this.
That goal line technology, and I think it was during COVID. I think was it Aston Villa or Sheffield United? I think Sheffield United scored a goal. It was literally over the line, and they still didn't give it because someone in the way of the camera, or I can't remember.
It was, and I think it was really weird, wasn't it? And that started their downfall, didn't it? To go back down.
Do you remember the Spurs goal? Do you remember the Spurs goal at
Roy Carroll? Spoons it out of the net.
I remember watching that, thinking we don't
Nunes, wasn't it?
Yeah, we don't need cameras here. That was 3 yards. He's literally picked the ball out from the back of the net.
It's actually hit the net.
And then looked so guilty, stood there, like waiting for the referee to blow his whistle.
It didn't cross the line. It didn't cross.
No, not over the line.
Honest. No,
but
there we go.
I think we'll probably still have to put up with it next season. I think in Sweden, they voted to get rid of it.
Yeah, not having it, yeah.
Where was that game, quickly before we finish?
Please.
I was talking to you yesterday about where the referee... he'd sent three. This was a game. It was I think it was a league decider. It was in the Netherlands, right? I don't know if you see it on the socials.
Youth game.
I've seen it.
He sent three players off, didn't he? Disallowed a goal, and then he was caught celebrating with the other team, lifting the trophy.
Didn't the winning goal come in like 10 or 15 minutes?
Yeah, he played added time.
Yeah,
we're playing until next goal wins, boys.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Unbelievable. It sounds unbelievable. Yeah, because he's been banned for life, isn't he? For being official.
He will not be officiating again.
Imagine just getting a season ban and coming back the following season. You got that game.
Three match ban. That's what you got. 3 match ban. It's also said just needs an overhaul. Get rid of the clear and obvious. Just have them in constant communication with ref, checking everything like rugby. Might do VAR keep only used for offsides, or if everyone's unsure of something major, refs need to be given their job back. Stephen Parry, the Europe clubs will keep it because they will still have it in Europe. So that's 8 sides.
So, look, it's a case of, I think, when we're in the stadium, because we've never experienced this, and I've spoken to people who are at games, and it's the not knowing what's going on in the ground, right? And this is where I think Wolves have put out, there's a load of points causing bad feeling, because they obviously don't show it on the screen, do they? I don't think they're allowed to show it, are they, Matt?
Discussing this, weren't we? Yeah. No,
but why? But why are they not showing things? Because
of course, it's a riot.
Yeah, but we need to be more transparent, because you're at a game and you're spending a lot of money to go and watch. If you go to rugby, you can hear what they're talking about and they go through it. I know rugby is probably a bit of a more stop-start game, whereas football is more
chilled in the crowd as well, Rich.
Yeah. But you can drink in the stands at rugby, and you can sit with the opposition fans.
Yeah.
But I just think...
Not as tribal.
We haven't seen it yet, but we're probably going to experience this next season where we're going to be standing there for 4 minutes, not knowing what's going on. And there surely has to be, this should be another thing if they keep it, you've got to have a cut-off point at some point. Maybe it's a minute 30, 2 minutes. If you can't make that decision in that time, the decision stands, whatever it is, whether it's a goal or whatever. We can't be having 5 minutes where you're waiting around.
You can have the countdown clock going while they're making the decision. You've not made a decision, it stands. Hey!
But you need to get to a time limit, I think.
I agree with you, yeah. Agree.
Yeah,
maybe that will be on the table.
Like a show.
Well,
yeah. 2 hours.
Maybe.
Yeah. It's like the promotion show, this.
We were waiting an hour to go live, so we'd be saying,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been sat in this room all morning, literally. I
It's
might
now
see
10
my
past
family
4
in
and
it.
Super Sunday's kicked off.
I know. Crazy.
This is unbelievable. Have we got any goals?
We have to get used to this. We're talking town in the
1-0
Premier League. We'll be
Forest.
moved all over.
There you go.
Over.
Title over, 1-0 Man City.
Already?
Foden after 2 minutes. What happened in the League 2 playoff final? Crawley, 2-0.
Called the Crawley.
So
Good
Crawley
luck to
promoted to League One. Oxford in the Championship.
That first time for 25 years they're in the second tier.
Good luck to them.
Amazing, with 3 stands.
Yeah.
The Championship teams.
3 stands at the car park. Yeah.
I mean, the Championship size next year. Watching.
What's the manager's name, Matt? Des Buckingham.
Des Buckingham. Yeah.
So I see
His
a great
name in India. Made his name in India.
Great video on YouTube of like the EFL put out of them celebrating, and they interviewed him, and he said when they last won at Wembley in 2010, he said I was sitting over there as a fan because he's a fan, isn't he?
Yeah.
You don't get this a lot, and this is what I'm saying when I went back. I'm contradicting myself a little bit here about managers not getting like when local derbies because it's their job, whereas he's actually a fan of the club. But this is where, like
good on him.
This is where form in the playoffs goes out the window because Bolton beat them 5-0 in the league.
Yeah.
And this is quickly where we get on to just quickly, Martin. One more thing. When we're talking about the Leeds Southampton playoff final, it's totally irrelevant. Them 2 victories that Southampton have had for me. Don't think that plays a part at all now.
Who was I talking to that said that was nonsense?
Matt.
That was me.
Oh, it was you. Yeah.
It was, yeah. I don't know. As you go higher up the pyramid, I don't know. Look, we blasted Barnsley, didn't we, home and away? And I just knew we would beat them at Wembley.
But don't you think that last game of the season when Southampton beat Leeds was a little bit irrelevant because I think Leeds, they got to the stage where they knew we were winning. Were they easing off?
They scored first, didn't they, Southampton, before we did? Our game.
But I'm going on about Leeds. Did they take the foot off a little bit, thinking, we'll save ourselves a little bit for the playoffs here?
I don't know. Hard to say, wasn't it?
They shouldn't have done.
It's going to be a really good game, though. That's probably the deserved 3 versus 4 is probably the deserved game, isn't it? I think it'll be a really good game as well. Yeah.
Whereas in League One, Bolton, how many points ahead of Oxford in the end?
It was a fair whack, wasn't it? I think
it was a fair whack. Yeah,
that's football. That's football, and that is the jeopardy of the playoffs, isn't it? That Oxford, I think, just scrambled in on the last day, didn't they? Made it in there.
They'd been going well under Liam Manning, and then he obviously went to Bristol City, didn't he? And there's Buckingham come in, and he's fair play.
He struggled a bit to start with when he went in there, and then they've got in at the last minute. Look, they're in the Championship. I mean, I had enough of watching Oxford in fucking League One, Martin, diving on the floor.
That's what I mean.
Wasting
Championship
time.
sides, I'm in for a treat next year.
That fog.
Yeah, the fog.
Oh, the fog game. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
I'll tell Chris about the fog when West Brom get down there.
Yeah. All right, we're done. That's
done.
That's the list. Let us know your
Thanks,
thoughts
mate.
and feelings. 10 points clear, said H for Bolton. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. Thanks for sticking with us. I know we're
What a marathon. What a marathon show.
Mr. Phillips.
Back on Tuesday. I think we're probably about 8:45-ish. We'll do a cricket show. We ain't done one for a while. I'm not getting Matt on, even though he came to the cricket with me yesterday.
Why?
What about me prowess on the pitch?
Yeah, I might have to bring that up in the chat. That, we've got a mean spinner.
Why is he not
in the ranks?
Why is he not?
They know more. You can't have me on there with Ian Davis and the like. They know they're.
We've done enough cricket. We've done enough cricket shows so far, and I've not included him. So why would I start now?
Yeah,
because you're like a new signing. New signing for the season.
No, you
big
guys.
Unveiling. Big unveiling with fireworks.
Got a lot of free time now, mate. So
Yeah, we'll let everyone know about the boxing show. So we'll revisit
whenever that's going to be. Yes, but we will talk about Fury Usyk Fury. But thanks for watching. thanks for liking, and we'll see you next week for more action, more discussion, unless obviously something happens during the week. Not that I'm expecting it to. I'm not.
Not yet.
It happens. Don't blame me.
The guillotine has dropped. The guillotine has dropped.
You make me smile when I think of you. If I get down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. I woke up all soaked in sweat, weird chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you.